Couldn't resist it.
We're early.
Early.
And I've got people sending me messages already. Is that to say, don't go on yet? It's too soon. Blessing Sean's already been there with a message. Hi, everyone. Apparently he's not feeling too good, so he won't be chatting much. Fair enough. Hello, Benjamin. Or should I say Ben? Sorry, it's Ben, isn't it? And Patrick. Hello, Patrick. How are you?
Patrick.
We're both sat here ready to go, so we thought, why not go early? You never know. With any luck, we might get an early start and an early finish. Evening, Josh. Josh, if ever you fancy joining us, just let me know. You're welcome on any time. Hello, Victoria. Is it Vicky? I think it's Vicky, isn't it? I'm going to keep tripping up over people's names. I am. How is everyone?
How is everyone? I noticed the Mechaconzilla listed Starfleet amongst his top 10 tokusatsu type shows, I think it was.
Is it really? Okay.
Yeah, I found that curious, given that he appears to be far too young for that series. But it was interesting.
Well, you could say the same thing about the vintage Godzilla stuff, but he's a big fan of that, isn't he?
Yeah.
And Ultraman, of course, that's his bigger one. He loves his Ultraman. But I would say, is it actually tokusatsu? I don't think it is. Tokusatsu is, Power Rangers type thing.
Well, Daix is tokusatsu.
Is he?
Technically, the Imperial Master sort of would be as well.
Oh, okay.
But Daix being a combiner is Power Rangers. If you think about it, he's kind of like
I thought the Tokusatsu was the man in like a lycra suit. The Ultraman, not the kaiju, not the robot part of it. I mean, I could be wrong. I could be poorly educated.
I'm with you. Yeah. I mean, there aren't many examples of that in Starfleet. There is the Imperial Master, who is a bloke in a suit, but he's kind of supposed to be giant size. That's all. So yeah, borderline perhaps.
Okay. I would say that it isn't anyway. Tokusatsu is a Japanese term for live action films or television programs. I'm stressing on the live action part there.
Okay.
That make heavy use of practical special effects.
I may have got that wrong. He may have, or his classification is wrong. One of the two.
Possibly. So, Interesting.
Yeah, I mean, it's unusual in that it's the only Japanese puppetry show I think I actually know of in that particular vein. I don't know, because obviously normally it's either anime cartoon or, as you say, it's live action.
Who did Space Patrol?
I thought that was Jerry Anderson.
Was it Jerry Anderson?
Unless I'm thinking of a different one.
I thought it was 1963. In 63, he wouldn't have been busy with something else.
He was always busy, I think.
Yeah.
It's quite an early black and white
one. It's British anyway. It's British, but it incorporates elements of Anderson's Super Mario Nation. But it isn't actually.
Oh, right. That's interesting. I didn't know that.
Okay. Anyway, we're going deep into something here, aren't we?
Yeah.
We haven't even started.
Even Lobots.
Right. Wow. The chat's gone mad. Highs, evening lads. Hi. Hellos. Yeah. Vicky has a question. What order does Star Trek movies go in as you're about to watch them at the moment?
Would you like to name your era?
Yeah, to be honest with you, films, they're numbered.
Well, yes, you see, the original ones are, but the new ones are not.
Well, the original ones are numbered 1 to 10, aren't they?
Well, even that's not necessarily the case, sir. I would suggest that they stop at Star Trek 6. And then they go Generations.
Yeah, which is 7.
Yeah, but it doesn't announce itself as 7, though, does it?
No, but I think anywhere that's going to be providing them will.
Oh yes, they should
probably-
in theory.
Yeah, we'll probably display it quite.
Or
If you're watching it on
you
either
go by
Netflix
year.
or something like that. Yeah, go by year release. That'll give you an idea.
Yeah, that'll do it.
But they're pretty much numbered. The
Well,
three
new,
modern ones
the
are.
new ones. Would it be Star Trek? Then is it Into Darkness? And then I can't even remember what the next one's called.
Beyond.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then it stopped, didn't it? Mercifully.
Yeah, they're still trying to get a fourth one working,
Yeah.
but it's not happening.
No.
It's not.
Seems to have stalled out, hasn't it? Seems to have stalled out. Does that answer your question, Victoria?
Well,
From William Shatner onward.
Sean sent me a
motion
Transformer photo. I don't think I'll be able to share it, to be honest with you, matey.
Motion picture, Wrath of Khan, Search for Spock, Voyage Home, Final Frontier, don't do it, Undiscovered Country, Generations, First Contact, Nemesis?
Yeah.
I missed any?
No, Insurrection.
Insurrection, thank you. Yes.
Insurrection is 9. Nemesis is 10. Yeah. Sadly, I'm not able to share photos. I haven't got it set up to share photos. I need to get my head around that one, Sean. I really do.
It's got some odd file format choices, hasn't it? As I recall.
Yeah, and I think because I use a Mac as well, there's certain elements of the Mac not letting me share my photos with an online provider without me changing some settings. It can be done. I just haven't tried to do it yet.
Unhelpful, yes.
Lowbot! You're another one. You just let me know when you want to hop on here and have a chat, and you are welcome anytime, sir. Anytime. Invites going out left, right, and centre. Let's build a new Cosmic Council. seems to be down by half. It's a vintage 84 Wheeljack. Yes, I can see that from the picture. Yes. Richard Curtis, you've done some interesting films, haven't you? Went to Cosmic Toys for the first time just over a week ago.
Yeah.
Currently building the Gundam kit of the real grade Zeon. Oh, cool.
That sounds like an expensive one.
Real grade.
No?
The ones I've had in so far have all been 30 quid each, but I don't know how much the Zeon is. Zeon G, cool. From William Shatner onwards, she's saying. So, yeah, just go with motion picture, which is 1. Then the rest of them are numbered 2.
Or the slow motion picture, as those in the know like to call it.
Yeah, maybe skip the motion picture. Yeah, if you watch the motion picture, you'll probably not watch any of the others.
It's always a possibility.
Terrible. Although, I am tempted to see the new... I'm sure there's a nice, shiny new version of it they've done that's been... cleaned up and everything. I quite like to see that.
The director's cut of the producer's edition of the best bits ever.
Probably. Hello. Oh, Mario's in the house. Hello, Mario.
Mario.
It's my man, Mario.
Mario.
I bet he gets sick of us doing that.
Yeah, he probably does, yeah. He's not heard that at all ever before. No, ever.
I thought Captain Kirk and Spock and Dr. McCoy from the first movie in 1980s. You think they're okay? Cool. Yeah, 70s and 80s. I suppose technically they went into the 90s as well with Generations, didn't they? You got Kirk in that one.
Yeah.
Was anyone else in that?
Just Kirk, no, McCoy was in it. Scotty was in it. In fact,
the bit at the beginning. Of course,
yeah. Duhan was in it, and so was, I want to say it was Chekhov, and it was Walter Koenig was in it as well.
Yeah, no, I remember now. Just finished watching First Contact. Oh, that's not.
That's later.
Yeah, that one's number 8. Yeah, that one's number 8. Is that?
It's a good film, though. I like First Contact.
Very good film.
Yes.
We like that one.
Prepare for assimilation.
So worry. Sean loves the old Star Treks. Appreciate that, Gareth. One day I will darken the council step. No, you'll brighten it. It's between 60 and 70 used. Oh, fair enough. Yeah.
Yes, yeah, they were expensive.
Oh, is it? Is it as big as a master grade? Because usually the real grades are the same scale as the entry grades. Well, yeah, entry grade and high grade. High grade, aren't they? Cool.
Yes.
Anyone looking forward to Transformers 1? No. I'm glad you're looking forward to it, Sean, but no.
Is it the wrong voices?
It's not even that.
Too kiddie?
Yeah. It looks like... have you seen the Trolls cartoon?
Vaguely, yes.
Right. It looks to me like that. They've taken a classic IP and they've completely changed it. They've updated it. There's probably going to be a couple of songs in there. And it's all shiny and everything. And it's made for kids today, which is fair enough. Transformers should always be made for kids as far as I'm concerned.
If it's Instruments of Destruction, I'll let them off. But apart from that...
But it looks too far removed from what it really was. Okay. All Star Trek is good, but Discovery and the first 2 seasons of Picard, and probably anything else that's come out in the last 5 or 10 years, to be honest with you.
They were very confusing, those. It's a sort of, I don't know. I didn't even know what they were. Last season of Picard was fun.
Oh, okay, so it's a bigger. I get it. I've got a. Whether or not it ever turns up, I don't know because it's been placed on back order. But I've got I think it's Psycho on order, and that's a high grade. But because it's a bigger thing in the show, it's about that big.
Good lord!
So I'm looking forward to that if it ever does turn up. But it's still 1144 scale. Yeah, it's a good way of getting kids to like it through. True, definitely. No way, I don't think they will sing. Talk to me in a few months after you've seen it. When's it due out?
Soon, I think, isn't it? It had one trailer, hasn't it? It'll be part of the summer. It'll be part of summer releases, won't it? Inevitably, I suspect.
I never thought that Doctor Who would sing and dance.
I haven't actually seen this series yet.
Neither have I. And I don't intend to. Oh, he's joining us? Wow.
Oh, he's back.
Hell. Welcome aboard.
Huzzah.
And then he goes again.
I'm going to say.
Hello.
Hello. How are you all?
Very good. Well, even better now.
Even
better now you're here. Are you here for the duration or just popping in?
No. Pardon?
Are you here for the duration or are you just popping in?
We'll see how it goes.
Fair enough.
See how it goes.
I'm loving
nice
the subtle product placement there on the shelf to your right, sir. You're right. You're right.
I'm always right. Thank you.
I know that, but you're the right.
Hey,
it's a mug.
It's mug, yes. When I have a refreshing beverage, I like to have my refreshing beverage in my Vaults of Iacon merchandise cup. That's nice.
Which is available to buy if anyone wants to click his link from his channel.
Yeah. Indeed. How is everybody? How are you both?
We're good. We're just saying we're tired. So you can inject us with some extra energy. That would be marvelous. Got some energon going. That'd be super.
Is that the time? Right. What? So what are we talking about?
Well, there's no topics.
Strangely enough.
It's what? Sorry.
We're responding to the chat because I had no. I think I'm running out of ideas to come up with for chat topics now. So I thought we'd just wing it.
Got an idea.
Oh, right. Andy can fill us in, but I'll just answer Sean because he's asking if Star Trek Lower Decks is any good. I've not seen it, but everyone I've spoke to have said that they've enjoyed it.
I like it, Sean. I like it. If you're into your Next Gen and into your Deep Space Nine, you will appreciate many of the cunning in-jokes that are featured in the animated series. Yes.
Right.
It's got no reference there as to whether or not the stories are any good, but there we go.
Well, no, I think they're not bad. They resolve over the period of a season, so they're trying to do the little mini arc thing. But there's some good gags in it, and it's it is what it is. And if you are of that era, I think you do appreciate it. So yeah, it's all right. It's all right.
I've not seen it. It's so. Well, is that what we were talking about? Is it Star Trek? Was that the topic?
No, it was just a question that Sean had asked.
Yeah, we just been meandering. We're meandering where the chat takes us.
Right.
So the thing I'd had half a thought about was what is the item of which you've had buyer's regret the most?
I haven't got mine yet.
That you were giddiest for, but you haven't. But it didn't turn out to be what you'd hoped for. That sort of idea.
All right. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
I can't say that. I'm kind of struggling to think of one. I must admit. I mean, that's with my bugger old Babylon 5 station, but that's not exactly an item I bought as such. But that was irritating as all hell. But yeah.
Well, good evening, Rudy.
Good evening, Rudy. If I may, I would say, I can tell you mine, and it was the SH Figuarts, Luke, Han, Leia, and Obi-Wan. Was it Obi-Wan? Yes, Obi-Wan. Yeah, okay. Obi-Wan. It was those. Nothing. There was nothing wrong with the figures. It was me. I just found them quite unnerving. Like it had that kind of uncanny valley kind of look to them. Whoa. And so because at the time I was buying the Bandai model kits, but the figures, so like the stormtroopers and the droids and things. And I had like a little display going, and I got those. I mean, the reason why I got them was because I got them for next to nothing, really. I paid peanuts for them. But once I got them in the display, I just didn't like them. It just looked they look creepy, if that makes any sense. So. So it kind of reinforced to me the reason why I just stick to droids and stormtroopers and that, So yeah. So there was buyer's regret on those. I would say for definite. Yeah.
I've seen Lobot's comment.
What's that?
The wife question mark.
Is that what you meant? Bought your wife?
Wives are very expensive creatures. Some of them more than others. What's that? When is it?
September. Okay.
They've started the hype wagon early for that one then. Bloody hell.
Someone's in there straight away.
Spectrum!
You've been missed.
Touche.
Victoria wants to watch Transformers, but she's not sure if it will ruin the others for you.
The others being Transformers, but I'm not sure if it will ruin the others.
You mean you want to watch the Transformers 1 animated thing that I was talking about earlier, but you're not sure if it will ruin...
What, like the Bayverse?
It's a separate thing. There's many different series of Transformers, and none of them are connected until you get later on, and they try and tie them together. Yeah, so yeah, they're all separate things.
Yeah, I don't see us spoiling anything. I suppose you could watch Transformers 1. I think because I believe it's tenuously linked. I've heard it written. I've seen it written that it's possibly meant to feed into kind of like Rise of the Beast. It's like a prequel to that. Whether that's true or not, I don't know. But I would say just viewing it as it is, it's pretty much self-contained. There's elements of other stories from other continuities that seems to have found its way in there. So there's nothing new or revelatory in it. It's just but they just seem to be going a different way around to it. I mean, the positive thing about it is, it will bring new fans in, new younger fans to the franchise.
I think that's its goal, isn't it?
Yeah.
Is it War Dawn?
The older guard. The older guard will, some will like it, some won't. you know, it's just the way it is, you know. So
you want to see with the kids, I think, won't it? If you're of a certain
I think
age.
so. Yeah, I think so.
Was it War Dawn that was the one with Lita One and stuff in it, or was that? Or am I thinking of something else?
Yeah, Lita One. Well, yeah, she was called Ariel in War Dawn, and then obviously they were shot, killed, or whatever by Megatron and his Decepticons, and you know, well, I think you just see in that particular episode you only see Optimus Prime get resurrected. But I think if I remember rightly, towards the end of the episode, there's a shot of Alpha Trion saying something, "Oh, that gives me an idea," and I think it's to insinuate that Ariel is repurposed into a Lita One, you know.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, but then you have the big Dion question, which he was the third robot in that episode. You know, his colors would suggest that Ironhide, because he's that orange and bluey color. But then some have speculated that he was remade into Ironhide. Others have speculated that he's been remade into Ultra Magnus. So, but there's no actual fact or any 100% certain theory kind of thing. But yeah, I think you'd be able to go and watch that and not spoil anything.
Imagine what you would say if you were on here then. The new one coming out, Transformers 1. Yeah, right, okay. Yeah, I don't think it'd spoil anything for you, though.
No, probably not.
It's comical. I would definitely be watching it, all judged off Transformers 1 trailer. That's fair enough. It's not for me, I don't think. Got to go start feeling funny. No problem. You take care, Sean. Feel better soon. There we are. He did say that he liked your G1 poster behind your head as well, Ed.
Yes.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. And the chat's all caught up with now. All caught up with. So what have you been up to all these weeks and weeks and weeks?
Nothing, which has been lovely.
Super.
I've just been focusing on my photography side. Just been doing photos. On Instagram and Facebook. I've also been busy with work as well. So that's a good thing. So yeah, I've not been completely out of the loop. I've been doing bits and bobs. I've done a few like video intros and trailers and things for other YouTubers and collectors out there for them to use in their videos and that. So cool. I've been doing that. So yeah, I've been here and there, but just not in front of a camera like this. So
he's let the odd dodgy
very strange. Pardon?
Let the odd dodgy geezer into the vault from time to time.
Well, I had a few pre-recorded chats already done. They're just not being edited. So I've released 2 so far. There was one last week, 1 2 weeks before that, and then
are they not new ones? Then are they? I thought
no,
they were all
no.
old ones. Yeah.
When you watch them,
new releases.
New releases, yes.
Yeah, the new releases. But if you watch them at the bottom of the screen, I've put when they were recorded. So the one that I posted last week, that was recorded in November last year.
Okay.
And I think the one, my final release, which I think probably will be next week. I think now. That was also recorded in November last year, and then that's it. Then that's it for the Collector's Archive. It's, it's a short season. 4 is a short season. I think there's only 5 episodes, so it's 3 short of the usual 8. So.
It's last batch, Robert. Hello, Robert.
I may maybe do a compilation. Maybe the last 3 episodes could be like a compilation of Series 1, Series 2, and then Series 3. That does 3 episodes. 3 episodes, doesn't it? And gets it up to the 8. So then I can, But I don't know. We'll see. But I have ideas, and hopefully, if everything's okay, there is content coming in September. What's that? What's Lobot put?
It's good to see Ed Hall. He thought he'd locked yourself away in the vault by accident. It's taken this long to dig you out.
Well, the vault keeper, bless him, he did try. He's still rattling about. He's still. I mean, he'll turn up from time to time, I'm sure, but he's on shutdown mode for a bit. He's the vault keeper. He's old and he's tired. Yeah, he's old and he's tired. He needs to recharge. But yeah, so yeah, that's what I've been up to.
Cool.
Well, it's nice to have you back. Even if it's only temporary, but it's nice to have you back.
Yeah, just nipping. I saw the rule of two. When I saw it advertised, the rule of two.
It's like, I'm going to break it.
Yeah, I thought I'd do it Disney, and sort of like...
It worked!
do a Disney and sort of like...
The psychology.
Yeah, no rule of two. But while I am here, I will wish you both a happy anniversary for the other week. Your 1 year
you're part of it.
Cosmic Council.
Yeah. You're part of it.
Yeah.
You did the vast majority of that first year with us as well.
You did, vast majority, yeah.
Yeah. There's only a few episodes that you missed out on at the end there.
Yeah, I think 1 or 2, yeah. So, yeah. But
you're definitely part of it. You deserve the congratulations as well. So, therefore, congratulations.
Congratulations.
Cheers.
Cheers.
That's a nice cup.
Yeah.
It's a nice cup.
Chat's gone quiet now. Come on, chat.
Yeah, chat's gone sleepy time.
Anyway, Andy, you did ask a question, didn't you?
Yes.
Buyer's regret or buyer's remorse.
Yeah.
There is something that I have buyer's remorse on, and I've not even got it yet. And that's the HasLab Ghost.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, as soon as I clicked buy or back or whatever it is you do with that thing, as soon as I clicked on it and okayed the payment, I regretted it. Because I'll be honest with you, it's not a ship I like the look of. It's not something I intend to keep. It was purely a case of, well, all the rest of the HasLab stuff, as soon as they arrive, they end up selling for more on the aftermarket. So I'm buying it purely with the intention of flipping it at some later date. But then I was like, but look how many people have backed this thing. It's not going to be rare. So I think it's something like 24 or 28,000. It's not rare.
Well, rare is relative, though, isn't it? In this country, it might be rare-ish, presumably. I don't know.
I don't think so.
No?
I don't think. I think everybody who wanted it and could afford it backed it.
What sort of size of ship are we talking about? Because they're quite hefty, aren't they, these ones?
Right. You know the great big Millennium Falcon that I've got at the shop upstairs on top of the cabinets?
Vaguely, yes.
Yeah, it's bigger than that.
Okay.
Because it's a bigger ship than the Falcon.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, that's my regret. But I weren't even giddy about ordering it in the first place. I don't. Other than that, I don't really tend to have regret for things.
I suppose
Life's too short for regrets.
It may have been backed by 20-odd thousand, but there'll still be. I would say for definite that there'll be someone who didn't back it, and then once it comes out, they'll think, "Oh, I wish I'd have backed that." So
yeah,
I don't think you'll have issue moving it on.
No, I don't think so. I don't think I'll. I don't expect to turn a profit from it.
Right.
I think you've got to assume as well that some people could have backed it to do exactly what you're going to do.
Exactly.
So,
exactly. The fact that it's limited to 3 per household as well, or 3 per account. It's like,
well, it's like it's similar to the
3 of them.
Yeah, it's like the flipping thing. It's like the Mattel's Hot Wheels transforming Optimus Prime.
I've seen it.
Yeah, it sold out in 15 minutes.
Wow.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, sold out in 15 minutes. And even before it had sold out, they were being advertised on eBay at double the price. So, 160, 170 pounds. I mean, it cost £80 from Mattel. It literally is half the size of G1 Optimus Prime. So that gives you an idea of its actual scale. It's tiny. It's all die cast. It's painted die cast. So when it's in truck mode, it doesn't really go together very well. It's not,
no,
it
doesn't look good at all.
The tolerance.
I like the paint.
It's a nice paint job. It's a nice color. The packaging. The packaging is really nice because it's not sealed packaging. So when you get it, you can decide how you want to display it. You can either have it landscape and have it displayed in truck mode, or you can have it portrait and have it displayed in robot mode.
Okay.
So it does look nice. It is a nice collector's piece, I would say, for Hot Wheels collectors, but I don't think it really offers much for Transformer collectors.
Yeah. I remember I randomly picked up, I think it was a collection of Thunderbird's pod vehicles that, to my mild bemusement, was by Hot Wheels for no apparent reason, but they were displayed very nicely. It was a really nice sort of packaging job, because you could sort of open it was like a NECA figure, almost things. You could sort of open it like a book, and the sort of the little vehicles were inside it like that. So that was really nicely presented as well. So obviously something they're considering doing more of, I suppose, or have been doing for a while. I don't know.
I saw some more pictures today of this Hot Wheels Optimus Prime. I think it was Toys R Us rather, that had shared them.
Oh yeah.
And there was one that stood out to me. It was transformed as the robot, and it's just his arms just seem so long and lanky. What's going on with them?
Yeah, but to be fair, it
looked like he could scratch his ankles without bending over.
Yeah, but when you have G1 Optimus Prime with his arms straight down, they do look quite long as well.
This looked more so.
It's maybe because like with the extra fists, put the fists on, because it's a part former as well, so you have to plug the fists in as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it's obviously been popular because it's sold out.
To be fair, that is a thing with Mattel. Whenever they do this, they had the same problem a little while ago. I think it was a Monster High doll that they released, but it was Elvira. And again, sold out in 5 minutes.
Right.
And people were kicking and screaming, and anyone in the UK were unable to place orders at all.
Right.
Oh, wow.
It kept crashing out on them.
But the thing I find interesting...
It's a thing with Mattel.
Yeah, the thing I find interesting is, I mean, I don't know if it will be the same for this particular piece, but someone I was speaking to about this, they mentioned that, that Hot Wheels have a habit of, like, these specials that they do, sometimes have a habit of turning up in the cheaper, like discount shops.
Oh, yeah.
So it would be interesting to see if it filters through and you get one of these Optimus Primes turning up, in something like B&M or whatever,
Yeah, to
I'd
scout
be
around.
surprised if that happened with this, but I can see them doing a general release of it with normal paint.
Yeah, possible, yeah. Or even
isn't it?
Even the Bumblebee, just the car and the truck and trailer. Maybe they'll end up in shops like that. But,
the truck and trailer is going to be on general release anyway, isn't it? And the Bumblebee.
Is it?
Yeah, as far as I'm aware, yeah.
All right. Okay.
The part of the truck and trailer's not mainline. Mainline is your single car on a card.
Yeah.
So that's what the Bumblebee will be part of. But then the truck and trailer's part of, I forget the name of it, but it's essentially trucks. So trucks, transporters, that sort of thing. They do a line of those, and I think it's part of that.
Kind of akin to the old Matchbox convoy line.
Yeah, same thing. So, but no, it does look nice. But I can see one of the things I like about it is the Spectraflame paint, which it's a translucent lacquer put straight over the base metal, which is why it looks like it does. But I can see them doing a normal painted version, releasing that as a limited edition thing. on the market.
Mm.
Yeah. Excuse me.
Robert has a question.
He has. I've got absolutely no idea.
No, that's not my area of expertise, I'm afraid.
It's Brawl the Combaticon.
Yeah, he's one of the Combaticons. No, he's
Not
one of
in the movies.
Yeah,
No.
yeah. But in the movies, he's just a tank. He's not, affiliated or anything like that. Is the one that you see trundling around when they get to the city?
Yes.
Is it Central City or something? When they're on the ground.
Who did Prime take out on the way to the city?
That was Scavenger, I believe.
Oh right, yeah.
The desert coloured truck with the claw arm. Yeah, I think he was called Scavenger. I don't hold me to that. I don't know because the names tend to do
they were quite random, weren't they?
Shozi are saying fourth quarter of this year, so that's what October to December,
right?
Kind of time. So I expect it at the end of the year, Robert. And if you haven't already, have a look at Shozi, because I know that you tend to get a lot through eBay, and sometimes it might cost you a bit more. But you've also been picking up fakes. Sadly, that Prowl did turn out to be a knockoff. So make sure you don't buy any more like that.
Yeah,
get from Shozi, Kapow Toys, or In Demand, and you know that they're going to be genuinely real.
Yeah, it's a shame on that Prowl. But
crazy date. That's what it says.
Crazy date.
They only announced it recently, didn't they? April, by the look of it. So yeah, no way. He's getting a 1-star review. I would have thought by now you'd already left him a review. Never mind. Poop happens.
It does. It happens. I mean, it's entirely possible. I mean, if this eBay seller is kind of an eBay trader, it's possible that he bought it without knowing.
Yeah.
Maybe he's someone supplying him.
So
that's the thing with the majority of the knockoff masterpiece figures. They are so close that you do have to be really careful, and unless you know what you're specifically looking for, it really is quite easy to get tripped up with it. So, but it's a shame. It happens to us all, at some point.
Lobot's throwing a good question out there. He's tempted by the Sideshow Collectibles outlaw Josie Wales. Can't beat a bit of Clint. And he loves the movie. Anything you'd like to see as a hot toy from a movie or TV series? That is... I don't know.
Movie or TV?
I'd maybe say the droids from the Black Hole. I think they'd be quite nice in hot toy scale. I mean, Maximilian, maybe a bit, not much accessory wise there, but you get them with, Vincent and Old Bob. But then the I want to call them the Star. Are they called Star droids?
Wow. Yeah.
I think they'd look pretty cool as a hot toy. So yeah. And I think if I remember rightly, I mean, I could be wrong on this one, but I'm pretty sure I read somewhere that the design for those Star droids was based upon some early Ralph McQuarrie art for a potential design for Stormtroopers.
Wouldn't surprise me.
Not surprised.
I could be wrong. I may be remembering something I've read incorrectly, but I want to say that I kind of recollect reading that.
Well, Huey, Louie, and Dewey.
Yeah, Silent Running. Yeah, from Silent Running. Yeah, that looked nice.
I don't know.
I mean, human characters. I mean, I suppose it would be nice, for like the TV fans, You know, give some characters like, I don't know, Magnum or, you know, the A-Team, you know, a bit of love.
Yeah.
Moonlighting, you know, a bit of Bruce Willis and Sybil Shepherd, you know, just, I don't know. I
The
mean,
Hoff. We need Michael Knight.
yeah, Michael Knight, yeah.
Yeah,
I mean-
and the car. We need Kit. A Hot Toys Kit.
Yeah.
You know, Stringfellow Hawk and
Yeah.
You know, what's amusing is a Hot Toys version of Kit would probably be more expensive than what the studio paid for the Trans Ams back then.
Yes. Yeah, it will be. Yeah, most definitely. Well, the ones that fell off a train, they bought them for
Yeah.
$1, didn't they? $1 a piece.
Was it $1? I knew it was. I knew it was cheap. I didn't realise it was as little as that.
Yeah, it was $1 a piece.
They couldn't sell them commercially, could they? So they just
Yeah.
kind of wrote them
Yeah.
off effectively. Yeah.
But the condition of the sale was that once they'd finished filming, they had to be destroyed.
I've got one.
Yeah.
I've got one. Touch of Frost. David Jason.
I suppose for Hot Toys, I suppose it would depend greatly on whether or not they'd be able to obtain the license, you know, to do it. You know, because I mean, especially when it comes to like TV stuff, you know, maybe you know who owns the rights for these things now, and you know it. So, but movie-wise, I mean, the Black Hole stuff wouldn't be difficult because it's Disney, you know. So
Yeah.
I'd like the 8 classic Doctor Who. Doctor. Yeah, I'd like them. I would like someone to finish off the big Chief Studios line. Yeah. Actually bring the ones out that they started. That'd be nice.
a Hot Toy Cyberman would look quite nice.
Wilma Deering.
Ooh.
Wilma. I want to say no to Starfighter either, mind. Or Hawk's ship.
Yeah.
Cool.
A Hot Toys Tweaky.
BDBDB, gosh.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure there'd be lots of collectors that would like a Hot Toys Wilma Deering as well. You know.
It would sell, let's face it, it would sell.
Yeah, it would. It would sell, yeah. It would sell. Yeah, there's lots of stuff. I mean, maybe not Hot Toys because it'd be too big, but I think I'd like to see, even if it's a model kit or something, but do you remember the old show Tripods?
Oh, yes. I've got the soundtrack downstairs on single.
Yeah, I'd like to see some, you know, a masterpiece style or scale kind of tripod, you know. Even the ones from the Jeff Wayne's War of the Worlds.
That's one I've still to watch, is that Tripods.
Right.
Yeah, I've not managed to come across that one yet, but
no, interesting. Yeah. I don't know. Did it get a release?
Yeah, you can get it on DVD. Yeah, yeah, you can get it. I mean, I did watch it. You know, back in the day when it came out, but I only remember it vaguely. I remember.
Remember the cat?
The tripod aliens when they're not in the machines. They just look like 3 legs with an eye, and the eye's like red, green, and blue. It's like cut up into thirds. But other than that, I can't really remember much of the storyline. To be fair,
I think I've got the book somewhere. I think I've got the book. It was based off somewhere as well.
Was it 83? Was it that came out? Was it 83?
Could well be.
Good year.
Oh, good year for tyres.
A good year for me. Oh,
sorry.
I'll never know now if all these other ones are official. I'm sure most of them, if not all of them, will be. Lynch the Man. Gizmo or a Gremlin.
Yeah.
Yeah, why not?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Definitely.
Yeah, definitely. Although, would a Hot Toys Gizmo just be an accessory? Because it'd be like that big, wouldn't it?
Yeah, maybe an accessory to, like, if they did like Billy Peltzer and things like that.
Yeah.
Or the Invincible characters. Hot Toys? Yeah. I'm not saying it couldn't be done, but I think because of the lack of detail needed, you could be able to get a good quality version of them because they're animated. You'd be able to get a really good quality version from a more affordable manufacturer than Hot Toys. maybe Sideshow, or maybe.
I mean, if you're going to do a Clint, it'd be nice, like if they did, because I suppose once you've got the mold or the likeness for Clint, then you can release other Clint characters. So, like a Dirty Harry, Hot Toys.
I mean, you could do all sorts off the back of Clint, couldn't you? But Highlander,
yeah.
That'd be cool. The only problem is it's going to be really limited edition because there can be only one.
No, I don't, Victoria.
Removable heads as well.
Yes,
of
course.
Minder, Terence McCann, and Mr. Daly. Doctor Who's a great shout.
Only Fools and Horses Hot Toys. You can get the little 3-wheeler Reliant.
Thundercats.
Again,
I'll go back to what I said about the Invincible one. With them being animated ones, you could get them done by just with good quality by a cheaper manufacturer. But yeah, definitely a 1/6 scale set of Thundercats would be nice.
Yeah, if you do that, then you go
modern ones as well.
This is going to be so easy for all of us. We're all going to have the same answer, Robert. What's your favourite number one Transformers movie that you loved?
The only Transformers movie.
The 86 animated one, of course.
As in Transformers, the movie.
I think I'd have to go for Dark of the Moon.
Liar.
Yeah, I'm
lying. The heretic.
Yeah.
There is a Dirty Harry doing a series of the whole series of Clints. Cool.
Although I know it's
Joe. How are you?
I know it's not technically a movie, but
happy birthday!
I still like Arrival from Cybertron.
Right. Okay. Yeah. The first few episodes.
Yeah. Sorry. The first 3 that they like cut into a.
Yes.
Do you know what? I saw a clip of them doing that in the cinema on YouTube the other day, and it had Skywarp bringing Megatron back online, and that just goes to me. You could do a what if where Starscream got woken up first, because that could have gone very differently.
Yes, it could have done. Yes, yeah, very much differently. If you're going to do a Garboid in Hot Toys, how about the shark from Jaws?
The whole point is to make them look as screen accurate as possible. You do not want a screen accurate Great White from Jaws. Even Spielberg was disappointed with it and tried to hide it, which worked in the film's favour.
Yes.
Well, maybe it'd be a cheap Hot Toys, wouldn't it? You could just get a bit of simulated water with a barrel off the top.
What about a well-fed critter?
Oh yes, yeah, I like critters.
Didn't you have a critter in once?
Yeah. I won't deny it. I got them from Temu. They keep selling, so I keep ordering more.
Right, it was Temu, wasn't it?
And your favourite Transformers shows?
Ooh,
Beast Wars for me, and probably followed closely by Prime.
Yeah, see, I think I haven't seen any of the really, really modern ones, and I'm aware that there are more, of course.
Mm-hmm.
I know there's Armada. Isn't Armada thought of quite highly?
It's getting there now because the kids that grew up with it are getting to the age of wanting to collect things.
It seemed very, very gimmicky to my mind.
Yeah, I didn't
what little I saw of it, but yeah, I suppose for me, obviously G1 is very much kind of core memory for me, but I definitely enjoyed Beast Wars, even though the animation looks kind of clanky now. It's still in continuity from my point of view, in my headcanon, so I don't have any problem with it whatsoever in that sense.
Mm-hmm.
But I think Prime did do a really solid modern job of it. Even though in some respects it's kind of odd because the actual number of characters in Prime is really limited when you think about it.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like Beast Wars in that respect. It's not actually radically different to the Beast Wars setup in that sense.
It was deliberately kept to a very short amount, low amount of characters in order to keep the rendering time for the episodes down. So probably a budgeting thing as well, because they probably would have been able to render just as quickly with a higher budget.
Also fewer voice actors to have to pay as well, of course.
Yeah, and especially considering the voice actors that they did have. Yeah, that's Jeffrey Combs.
I don't know. You see, I'm a bit of a disadvantage when it comes to that question because I haven't actually seen. I've seen the odd episode of Beast Wars here and there, but I've not seen the whole series.
Oh,
but by the same token, it's the same with the G1 cartoon. I've not seen all of the G1 cartoon. I know. Believe it or not, I haven't. No,
heretic.
I know.
It gets to a point where it's just difficult to watch.
Well, the thing is,
I wouldn't swear to having watched all of season 3 because that was just horrible.
Yeah,
but I mean,
obviously, I've seen all of the first season. I've seen probably maybe half a dozen or so episodes of the second series. I mean, I do intend to watch them because I've actually got them out of storage. So that's season 2. But that's the Region 1 Rhino release. So season 2, very few episodes. Probably maybe 1 or 2 episodes of season 3. I've watched the Rebirth, which is like their de facto season 4. But yeah, Beast Wars, 1 or 2 episodes. Transformers Prime, probably half a dozen episodes of that. And then I have watched the Netflix ones, the ones that were on Netflix.
Yeah, they're interesting as well, actually. I need to give them a rewatch, actually, in fact.
Yeah, I mean, I was just put off by the animation choices. I personally just feel that the animators tried to make them look too much like the toys. They were just too blocky like the toys. But I mean, it did what it needed to do. It wasn't for me. It wasn't.
It lost me. I think it's the first scene when you see Optimus Prime.
Right.
He's on his knees in front of Megatron, and
right.
he's about to be executed, and it takes Elita 1 to rescue him. And
right.
I'm looking at Elita 1 and I'm looking at Optimus Prime, and I'm like, he's like 3 times her size. Why was he not able to do what she did? Why did he have to be saved by... Okay, take this misogynistic if you like, but why did he need to be saved by a little girl? He's an army vet. Well, he's a war veteran. He's military leader, and he needs a little girl to save him. Ridiculous.
Well, maybe it's the
for me that set the tone for the series.
Yeah, maybe it's the Return of the King thing. With Eowyn. And when she kills
2.5 movies that leads up to that point.
Yeah, who knows? It was a writing choice. But yeah, so
G1 Dark of the Moon. It was being sarcastic about Dark of the Moon. It didn't mean it.
Yeah, bless him. I'm sure it has its fans. Not particularly one, but yeah. So I'd have to go with my favourite would have to be G1, but like I say, it's still limited. It's the Marvel UK comic for me over the cartoons, over any cartoon, So
yeah.
Joe watched the new Planet of the Apes last night. It was good. The man from Del Monte. He say yes.
I quite like to see that as well, actually. So,
it's on my list of things to watch. I started watching Godzilla X Kong last night. I'm going to finish off watching that. I'm going to finish off watching that tonight.
It's fun.
Yeah.
It seems that way inclined so far.
It's an entertaining film. It's not.
Yeah.
Did you watch -1?
No, I'm going to save that.
Okay.
I'm saving that.
They're 2 very different things.
Yeah. I'll be honest with you. I did start watching it, but I think where I was streaming it from, I don't think the English subtitles really matched what they were saying.
All right, okay.
So
And
I kind of because the one of the characters started talking about Swiss cheese, and I was like, no, this can't be right. This can't be right. So I'm going to hold off. I may wait for that to come out on Blu-ray and just buy it and watch that one.
It'd be worth it, to be fair. It'd be worth it.
Yeah. But no, the Godzilla X Kong. So far, I'm not putting it down. It feels like a music video.
I can see what you mean. Yeah.
Or like the battle scenes feel a bit like a cut scene from a video game. It's very kind of like it's kind of like just I don't know what's the right word I'm looking for. It kind of like it's there's some interesting lighting and music choices for it.
Mm-hmm.
I found it slightly reminiscent of almost like an 80s action movie sort of vibe to it, but obviously done with modern effects, if that makes any sort of sense. They had some sort of strange nostalgic twang to it for me.
Right.
Maybe because it's not going too deep. It's just very what you see is what you get, you know?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Leans very heavily into the 70s Godzilla films.
Yeah, that's the one thing I would say that I've noticed in this one. Like I said, I'm about halfway through it in this one compared to other ones. The Godzilla in this movie seems to be a lot more agile and fleet of foot than he was in the other films. He also looks a bit slimmer as well.
Yeah, there's things about it that I don't like, but I'm happy to let them slide because I enjoy it more often. I enjoy it more than I don't. Yeah. The things that I don't like are niggles. Yeah.
But the other thing I found as well is, again, it could be just me because it's been a long time since I've watched the others, but Kong looked different. Have they redone the modelling for Kong?
I don't think so.
Right. It just seemed a bit, maybe I'm just remembering it incorrectly, but it looked a bit different. I thought. I mean, I know he's greyer. They've given him
they've aged him a little bit.
Yeah.
I don't think they've changed the model from the previous film.
Right.
It's a newer model from Skull Island.
Right.
Because from Skull Island to Godzilla versus Kong, they've almost tripled his size.
Yeah, I recollect.
Just so that he can stand toe to toe with Godzilla.
But didn't they say in Skull Island that he was still growing?
They did, yeah. They did, but I don't think that they were kind of referring to the fact that he was going to double or triple in size. Ben's come up with a very nice pitch there for a nice hot toy. Johnny 5 from Short Circuit. Yeah, I'm there with you for that one. Yeah, I think there are third parties that do them.
It looks like it resembles.
Yeah, I'm there with you for that. Or even a die-cast model kit. Ooh. Robert loved G1 and Prime, but has a soft spot for the Transformers animated from 2007. Fair enough. I didn't like that. That's where it's kind of like really stylized all the characters. But, yeah. You were the target audience at the time, Robert, so perfect for you.
That Transformers animated, though, did have some nice looking toys for that line.
It did. Loin. Pork loin.
That's from my tea tomorrow.
The Dinobots were pretty cool for that line.
Yeah. I mean, they only did the 3. But
they only did 3, didn't they?
Did only reappear in the cartoon?
No. Grimlock, Slag was probably Slug, and Swoop.
Yeah, because they made... no, it was Snarl, because they changed Snarl to the Triceratops, didn't they?
Oh, that's confusing.
Right, so I got the name right, but I meant Triceratops anyway.
Yeah,
right,
okay. Yeah. Okay, I think that's just come to my mind as that now. I think it was definitely Swoop and Grimlock, and I think it was Snarl, but it was the Triceratops.
Okay.
But no, there were some nice toys. The
Joe
Prowl
enjoyed the Netflix series. Fair enough. Hello, Eve. How are you?
Hello.
Yeah, the Prowl from the animated series is still there's still a lot of collectors out there that hunt him down.
Oh.
The samurai version, I think it is, because there was two. There was normal Prowl, and then there was Samurai Prowl, and I think it's the samurai one that they chase. It was quite a rare figure at the time. It's a popcorn movie of GK, definitely. Yep. GK. Embla, hello there. If you wish to communicate with others in the chat, you may want to hop streams, but if you want to continue supporting Andy, stay there. Hell where you are. Shin Ultraman, that's one that's on my list. It's very high up my list that I just seem to never get around to watching. It's on Amazon Prime at the moment, isn't it? Although that means tolerating adverts.
Yeah, what's that all about now?
Well, I'm not paying $2.99 a month to skip them.
Hot Toys Astro Boy.
Oh, interesting.
Or Alita Battle Angel.
There is one.
Is there?
Yes, there is one.
All right.
Yeah, they did. Well, they announced it. Whether or not it ever got released is another matter.
Right.
They announced it. That doesn't really count.
I remember seeing it going up for pre-order. Oh, low boy. Oh, low boy.
Or a Hot Toys Ghost in the Shell, but the stealth version. So it's literally just a display stand.
Yeah. It's like all the naked predators. Yeah.
Called Fanatic with John Travolta. Not seen it.
Yeah, Hot Toys Danny Zuko and Sandy from Greece.
Hello.
These toys and things.
I haven't seen Fanatic now. Hellos?
Lots of hellos.
Hellos?
Indeed.
Eve loves Skull Island.
I've only just seen it recently.
Yeah, really?
Most of it, at least, yeah. Brie Larson looks much younger.
Yeah, it's one of those films that doesn't suffer from Brie Larson being in it. You watch it and you actually forget that it was her. And then you go back and start watching it again. You're like, oh, yeah, she's in this. But she doesn't grate on you in that film like she does in most everything else. They have a Prowl as a sport motorbike in Hasbro stock. Prowl. To me, true. Yeah. Bad film. I'm assuming you mean Fanatic. Would be like that steampunk mechanical spider from Wild Wild West. Okay?
Yes.
Fair enough. I've never seen Wild Wild West.
Yeah, interesting film.
Yeah. Have they done?
Nice to avoid it.
Have they done Hot Toys? Well, not Hot Toys haven't done them, but a Hot Toy equivalent of like the Enterprise crew, like Kirk and Spock and things like that. McCoy.
Yes.
I say somebody must have, surely. I mean,
I want to say Star Toys. Was it Star Toys? It'd be ironic, wouldn't it, with a name like that?
Dan Select did them at one point.
1/6 scale Star Trek. Who was it? Feel free to talk among yourselves.
Yeah. No, actually, I was cogitating other things that could be done. What was I thinking of then? It's gone now.
Oh, it was EXO is the name of the company, an Italian company.
Yeah.
How about a Hot Toys Commander Macara?
Are you perving?
By your divine guidance. That's Orion, actually, but anyway, yeah.
So apparently Travolta plays an artistic fan or autistic fan?
Artistic fan.
Who Starker? I'm actor. Okay.
Who stalks an actor?
Stalks an actor. Ah, okay.
Possibly.
It's awful, apparently. Okay.
All right. Thanks, Jerry.
I used to have all the Transformers animated figures, then sold them to me years ago. Didn't you? Good lad. See, you've been doing it right all these years. Cat, hello. How are you? Everyone
Meow.
loves Cat.
Cat is here.
Everyone loves Cat. Bless you.
She heard Godzilla mentioned and she came a running.
She did. She did indeed, didn't
It's
she?
a kind of magic.
Bless.
It's a kind of magic.
Did you have any more wonderful ideas for conversation talk? In fact, did you even pitch one, Andy?
Oh, what? Sorry.
Well, you came up with a conversation topic earlier, and I don't know if you actually pitched one.
Yeah, the
No, in terms of
remorse.
remorse.
Buyer's remorse. What have you had buyer's remorse with? Everything he ever bought from me, probably.
No. Well, I really love this. This is cool. It was like cheapest chips, and I still really love it. It still frightens me every now and again when I've forgotten where I've put it.
It is a cool toy for the money. It's incredible how cheap they are.
Yeah, I know, it's crazy. I saw one literally was going for a penny on eBay, and I thought,
They're not even that much on. I was just going to say they're not even that much on the aftermarket. It's just ridiculous how cheap they are.
No, I was trying to think if there was ever a Transformer that I got sort of back in the day that I just thought, oh, that's a bit rubbish. But I think I avoided something like Galvatron. I would have kicked myself if I'd ever bought it because he was nothing like he was in the comics. You know, just sort of deeply naff. I mean, I think Astro Train was probably a bit pants in G1 mode because the actual robot wasn't up to much. The sort of shuttle was kind of all right, but you know, and then he was a train with jet thrusters on the back. Yeah, train tracks all over the place. That makes perfect sense.
Gotta go faster. But especially in America, when they don't actually have that many, don't have a really good railway system, do they? Even today, they don't.
No. I mean, the thing with the Astro Train toy, like Blitzwing, you know, it suffers from the fact that it's old Diaclone stock. You know, it's an old Diaclone toy that was repurposed. So, you know, it wasn't really meant to be, you know, that kind of thing. Yeah, interesting you mentioned it.
Stupido.
Yeah, I didn't buy it, but it was, I think it was a birthday gift. I got Dirge. The 85 Seeker Dirge. And you know, everyone wanted Starscream. You know, you wanted Starscream because he was, you know, the known character. So it was like, I was grateful for it, but it was like, it wasn't Starscream.
No.
It wasn't Starscream. You know, and to be fair, out of the 6 Seeker jets, I think Dirge is the blandest, really. You know, that flat blue and, you know, gold wings. You know, I mean, I know.
I like that colour scheme. Maybe that's just being me to the contrary.
Yeah, Ramjet's got the nice, you know, red wings going off for it. Thrust is the better out of the 85 ones, 85 liters.
Yeah,
you know, with the turbo fans, the wings, and that. But yeah, that was. I think no, I don't have it anymore. No, that's gone. It's gone as that.
I might have buyer's regret when my Mariners auction stuff comes. That's a distinct possibility.
Well, yes.
But I kind of know that though. So
did we know that they made a G.I. Joe figure of Channing Tatum? Well, they probably made a figure of his character. Yeah, I remember the small one that they did. I don't think they've done a classified version of it though. What did I get from there? It's that long now. I can't remember what I got in this Ancient Mariner auction. I think it's all vintage Gundam kits, which because they're vintage, I won't want to build.
I think you said that. Yeah, you said it was the vintage kits, wasn't it? Well, I got one thing. I rescued something, and you know how Mark was doing video on it at the time.
That's a good one, Ben. That's a good one. Go on, Andy.
Yeah, and I was just sort of saying, don't mention it, because I was hoping to God no one would start bidding it up off the back of Mark mentioning it. So I was like, please don't.
Well, I wouldn't have bid on it at all if Mark hadn't mentioned the auction.
Oh, interesting. Well, no, I had my eye on it quietly for a while. So I wondered if someone else would have clocked it, because it was a fascinating range of stuff in it. I mean,
he's got some amazing stuff.
Yeah,
really has got some amazing stuff.
But fortunately,
an awful lot from Japan.
But I got matchsticks and I propped my eyes open, so it was getting that late. No other bug was still awake to actually bid for some of the stuff towards the end. So some of the stuff I got for a tenner towards the end. So it was just it was no brainer, but it wasn't in great shape. But I just thought it'd be really interesting just to get it in the hand, to sort of just have a look at it. I dare say a lot of it I will try and move on again. For I'll be able to. I don't know, but we'll see.
So Ben's just thrown out seller's regrets. Anything you regret getting rid of? I already know what Ed's going to say, but go on.
Oh, sorry, you want me to go first? Well, okay, it was from the 2000 Japanese Toy Fair. They did they released quite a few Transformer figures. They did Ultra Magnus in 3 separate colour schemes. So his original, colour scheme as we see him in the movie and the cartoon. They did the original Diaclone Powered Convoy colours, which is like a dark blue, silver, and red. And then they did one which was called Shining Magnus, which is supposed to be how we see Magnus in the 86 movie when the Matrix is shining up on him, kind of thing. It's basically it's yellow translucent plastic, and I had all 3, and I sold the Shining Magnus one. Shining Magnus one was limited to 1,000 pieces worldwide. No, was it? No, 800. Sorry, it was 800 pieces worldwide. Yes, and I saw it's 20 years since I sold.
Take care, Robert.
Goodbye, Robert. But there was that. There was also Nucleon Quest Super Convoy. I sold that. I sold God Jinrai. I had Fire Guts Jinrai, which is the Jinrai, but in like a orange, a metallic, chromy orange and red plastic. So they're all figures now which are fetching $1,000+. So I mean, I don't regret selling them because I could sell them now to get more money. There's the seller's regret because they were just damn nice pieces, and they still look nice on my shelf. But I've made my peace with it, and my collection is where it is, because of that. So I do and I don't regret it, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
But that's that's the seller's. Yeah, that's the seller's one.
Andy?
Yeah, the thing is, I suppose a lot of the stuff that I got rid of would have been just the natural stuff that ends up going in the local paper, and someone picks up the old Transformers like 30 quid, But back in the day, that was what they were, because obviously they'd gone out of fashion at that point. So your mum and dad don't know any better, and they're sick of the sight of them, so they just want you to get rid of your old kids' toys, don't they? So I remember I have quite a clear childhood memory of them being sort of lined up in the lounge at home, ready for someone to come and have a look at them with a view to making an offer on them, sort of thing. So I had sort of Soundwave and the cassettes, and Mind Wipe, I think, was one of the last ones I had, and he was in there, and Trigger Happy, and sort of just a lot of bits and bats, that went. Unfortunately, I'm trying to think if there's anything really significant that I would have had. I once had a Battle Beast, sort of one of those laser beasts that has a hologram in the chest and its war chariot thing that I picked up in France on a school trip. I brought it back with me, not knowing that obviously years later they'd be quite sought after, as little things go. But I think those are one of the more unusual Battle Beasts.
The laser beasts.
Yeah, they seem to go quite a lot individually these days. So that obviously would be one thing. But in terms of sort of consciously selling, I've got a Jetfire back now, but I think probably selling my Jetfire was quite hard because that was the one Transformer I did manage to hold on to for the longest. And then I sold it and his armor as a separate bits, and sort of saw that go out the doors. That was probably quite hard because he had real sentimental value for me. But obviously, I've got him back since, so it's kind of that's one of those sort of what goes around comes around sort of thing stories, I suppose, with him. But yeah, I mean, nothing sort of recently that I've had to sell. I mean, I'm getting the that A-Team chopper that I got. I am letting go of gigs. I just don't have the space for it. It was nice to have it in hand, but that's up for auction again now. Just to see if I can make something back on it. But that was cool to have, and I've kept the Corvette, which is one that's got more memories for me. So Faces Corvette, I've held on to, which is cool to have again. So yeah, Gareth, sir. I suppose you're constantly selling stuff, so this is harder for you. But
yeah. And there's probably a lot of things slipped through my fingers that I regret selling. But the ones that come to mind are the Zoids 2 Zoidzilla.
Oh, God, you're still bitty about that, yes.
Well, I had one where the first one I ever had, the box, I picked up off the car boot sale for £3.
Imagine.
It was boxed, and inside everything was still on sprue. Never been built. And yeah, I had no interest in it at the time, but I always preferred it to the original Zoids just because of that chrome.
Yeah.
And I wanted to build it, but I can't build it. It's a vintage toy. It's never been opened. It's got this, that, and the other. And I've still got that itch to build it, which is why I got that reissue non-chrome one at the Birmingham Toy Fair. I will get around to it. I will get around to building that. And then I got a built one again, didn't I? Which I had that, and I had, I think it was Iron Kong, essentially Gore. And yeah. I let Joe from Leicester Vintage Toy Shop buy it. And yeah, I regret selling those as well. Particularly the Zoidzilla.
Yeah.
But it is what it is.
There's loads, but I mean, you see them on eBay, like, not all the time, but there's a really thrumming secondary market in the old Zoids on eBay. So
you don't tend to see any unbuilt ones though.
No, that's fair.
One thing.
Here's one. If reasonable space was not a problem, say up to 3 to 5 meters, what would be your chosen diorama?
Damn. What, to populate with normal sized toys?
Yeah.
Could do a good Zoids one, actually. Even Zoids would be really quite straightforward to do. You just need a lot of sand if you're going by the comics.
Well, yeah, true.
I think I may have to pass on that one because I'm not. A diorama's nice to look at. There's a few photographers out there that are doing some great diorama photography, but I don't think even if I had the space, I don't think I'd have a diorama because it's limiting.
Yeah, it is. Yeah,
isn't it?
It's limiting. And if I was to have the space to display my figures, I'd want to change them round, and shift them round, rather than...
You can do that. You can do that. The first thing that's coming to mind is Echo Base.
Yeah, that would be a nice one.
A few snow speeders, the white walls with the lights pinned into the wall. The opening door, a couple of Tauntauns near it, a Wampa in a cage somewhere, a couple of X-Wings, obviously the Falcon taking up the bulk of the thing. But then I'm also thinking, how about Docking Bay 94? Because you could have your Falcon in the pit, your walls up the side, and then outside those walls, you could have things like the Mos Eisley Cantina and the streets of Tatooine. Mos Eisley, that'd be quite interesting.
Yeah.
But but then I'm also thinking the final Jedi duel would be so simple. It's just the Emperor's throne and Luke and Vader. They could go on all night. Notice they've all been Star Wars so far, haven't they? Interesting.
Actually, no.
Interesting.
It wouldn't take up a lot of space, but I'd like. I mean, it's going back. Well, this is going back 20 years. I'd like to have the Pride displays, Transformer display.
Yeah.
That they did a few prototypes for, but then they never went into production. They did the Star Wars one. That was produced and released, but they didn't produce the Transformers one because Hasbro pulled the permission for it at the last minute. So
is that what it was? It was Hasbro.
Just give me a moment. I'll be back.
Okay. Well, good evening, Dave. How are you?
Dave?
Built by a pro, not toilet rolls, sticky back plastic, and fairy liquid.
Oh yeah.
You know, I am tempted. I am tempted to do some for some Warhammer pieces.
Oh! Just remember something. I had an idea for your shop window.
You've had an idea for my shop window?
Yeah.
Oh dear.
If you could get, you know how you can get sort of like, I don't know exactly what they'd be, but like a sort of vinyl stickers almost. And you can have like heroes going up one side and then their appropriate opposite number villains going down the other side. So you got to have like sort of Prime with his gun sort of doing that on one side, and Megatron sort of on the other side like that, and they could be sort of fighting across the window like that. And then you'd leave most of the window free. Sorry, that was a random thought. I can't even remember when that popped in my head. That's weird. It just came back to me then. So I thought, if I don't say it, I'll forget it again. So
fair enough.
So yeah, thinking of dioramas, that'd be a cool thing to do. Because you did that you did that display in your window that time, didn't you? Which was cool.
The Christmas one.
Yeah. That was cool.
Yeah. I got a vintage Gundam Gelgoog from Leicester. Pretty sure it was previously owned by Jonathan Ross now. It could well have been.
Yeah, always a possibility.
Everyone good? We're all good.
They're all good.
Show us a condom. I think you've made this error before by sending that comment and letting your autocorrect it for you. A Gundam. Okay. I say here it shows a condom. Here's one I used earlier. I'll show this purely because I did bring it home today. It was on a delivery that came in. And I've been fancying getting a master grade, which is the next size up from the high grades that I've been getting. And the suppliers, as I was checking everything off on the invoice, I was like, there's 2 items missing. I'd ordered the main guy, Grandpa, RX-78-2, and it wasn't there. I'd ordered 2 of them, and they weren't there. But there were 2 of these, which are supposed to be 4 times the price. So the doc obviously sent me the wrong ones by mistake. So I thought, thank you very much. I will accept this gracious donation.
I'll just ask you that because when I was watching your video, I was watching it this morning while I was doing a bit of work.
Last week.
Allegedly.
The what, sorry?
Last week. So this week's video, last week's delivery. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the one. Yeah. Is it real grade?
Yes.
The RX, the original Gundam. When I saw that piqued my interest. I thought, because I do want one of those, but I researched it and it's tiny.
Yeah, they're only the same size as these.
Yeah, so I kind of like, so I decided to pass. I want something at least 12 inch.
Yeah.
12-inch scale at least.
Right. In that case, you want a perfect grade, and they don't come cheap.
Why? What price range are they?
I've just got one in. It's a different Gundam. That's 175, I think it is, or 180. Yeah.
Right.
Let's have a look. Perfect grade. X.
Yeah, I think for that
78.
one, I'd be wanting pre-built. I'd be wanting someone to have built it for me.
That's not the point of Gundams.
But,
Yeah, there's one. There's one for 289.
no,
Wow.
I'll pass.
Yeah.
Can you get them in like figure style? You know, like 12-inch figure style. You can.
They do.
I'm not sure about 12-inch. They do figures, but I don't
I've
think
got a
they do
smaller
12-inch.
vinyl one
Right.
from years back.
Yeah.
It's very incomplete now, though, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Oh.
Dave has no regrets about getting rid of things. When Richard was about 8, he swapped an awesome crocodile Zoid for 2 rubbish rubber dinosaur models. Hadn't seen the figures before, and in his youth felt compelled to honour the deal. Bless.
Oh.
What's the best thing you have bought? Oh, that's quite. That's a very wide net you're throwing out there, Victoria. What's the best thing you have bought? Well, I'm not a property owner, so it's not my house. Probably the car. Although it's got its problems. What about you guys? What's the best things you've bought?
I think from a solely collecting point of view, I would probably say Bumble Jumper.
Oh yes, okay.
My Bumble Jumper, and obviously I would say my toast rack. And we'll leave that there. We'll leave that there.
Because you got it off me.
I did not get the toast rack off you.
Well, you got one off me, didn't you?
No. That was just a normal 48k I've had off you.
Well,
I had a +2 off you. I had a grey +2A off you.
Yeah.
Which was part of the James Bond pack.
Which you insisted that I break up, and I've still got the rest of it.
Shrug.
Hello, Sprue. How are you?
Best thing I ever bought. That
will be the graboid bursting through the basement while in the first tremors. Good one.
Probably my my Di-X, I guess.
Oh, really?
Well, just because to get it in a box is relatively unusual even now. You know, I mean they are around, but I don't mean the Modroid one. I mean my sort of original 80s kind of late 70s one. Yes. In need of constant restocking. Yes. Cybertron.
Speaking of Cybertron scene, oh, you've said Cybertron, and now I know exactly what it wouldn't be Cybertron, but I know exactly what my diorama would be. Tomb of the Cybermen, the tombs, definitely. Mm-hmm.
I thought you were going to say the Ark then, but not.
No.
Doing a different way.
Let's. Most of you probably know exactly what I'm talking about anyway, but present share screen. It's that long since I did it. Yes, it's that share. Yeah, it's that thing from Tomb of the Cybermen. So these Cybermen and their tombs behind them.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, definitely that. Because it wouldn't take up a lot of space either.
All good Cybermen go to heaven.
Yeah, I'd probably have a couple of Cybermen climbing up the ladders at the side as well. There's not many pictures of it though.
That just reminded me of Red Dwarf then.
What did?
Cyber Heaven.
Oh, Cyber.
What do you mean to this new Cyber? Where do all the toasters go?
The characters from Red Dwarf in Hot Toys version.
Yeah.
Do I still have a Warhammer Pro?
Guess the Warhammer character from
Warhammer Marine Sprue freebies. I do have them, yes. They are technically for in-store customers, but if and when you next order, I can pop you a couple in if you like. I miss Woolworths, just a random gem finding stuff. Yeah, I miss Woolworths, to be honest with you. I miss Woolworths.
Did I ever say I got mistaken?
A life-size model of, I'm assuming you mean Gareth, but Garth, really?
No, Garth Knight from Knight Rider.
Good save.
Freedom Planet in Leeds had a Gundam perfect grade for over 200. 60 what? I don't know. What's the best Spectrum game, Ed? Manic Miner. It had to be mentioned. Spectrum.
Well, I'm going to say Manic Miner, but that's my personal favourite. What's the best Spectrum game ever?
Lobot agrees. Trick question. We know the answer. Manic Miner.
God, that's. I think that's just really, really subjective. I think is that. I don't think
inevitably.
Well,
Horus and the Spiders.
Horus and the Spiders is an okay game. It's an okay game. It copies 3 separate old Atari games, in its game mechanics. But yeah, it's all right. It's Horus and the Spiders. I think when they've done like votes, like magazines have done votes about what gamers feel is the best game. This like back in the old days of Crash magazine and that, they've tended to say a game called Elite.
Oh right, yes.
Just because of its, it was such an expansive game, but yeah, I think it's subjective. I think it all depends on what you grew up with and what you played, growing up. So yeah, games like you can't go wrong with a platform game, like Manic Miner or Chucky Egg or things like that. So yeah.
And Victoria's answering her own question from earlier. The best thing she's ever bought was a Goonies jumper, and the other half got her a Goonies t-shirt.
You Goonie!
The statue Joker ex-girlfriend.
The Harley Quinn statue.
Harley Quinn statue at the shop. Is that what we're talking about? I don't know. One of my favourite Spectrum games was Trapdoor. I also had Ghost Hunters.
Did you open that?
Yeah, Trap. A lot of people rate Trapdoor. It was because of the large sprites. It didn't suffer with color clash on it, and Ghost Hunters was an early-ish Codemasters game. So, it was like a budget game. One of these like $1.99 games.
So, a very random question from Joe here. If you met Wonder Woman, what would you say to her?
Let's just think carefully before we respond to this one.
No. It says, what would you say to her, not what would you do to her? Doesn't it depend on the Wonder Woman as well?
Do you mean from which era, you mean?
Well, Linda Carter is very different to Gal Gadot.
Well, yeah, I was thinking
especially nowadays.
Books, but yeah. Can I have a go in your invisible jet, please?
May I borrow your lasso?
But I was going to say, I'd probably just tell her the truth because she'd have me wrapped up with the lasso, wouldn't she? Spectrum! Says Lobot. Ben wants to get into Warhammer, but the books, where would I start as a complete noob?
With a very, very, very large wad of cash.
Yes.
Would help, probably.
If you mean 40k, I couldn't begin to tell you. There is an author called Aaron something Debomsky or something like that. He's known as supposed to be the best or one of the most solid authors in 40k. So pretty much anything by him. If you mean the fantasy stuff, the Age of Sigmar, I couldn't make any recommendations whatsoever. But I've just been doing the Horus Heresy ones, and you don't need to know anything going into it. I'm really enjoying those.
I was going to say, I mean, that's probably the logical one. Well, I assume it's one of the logical boarding points in the sense that it establishes why the God Emperor is the God Emperor and why chaos exists and all that sort of stuff. So it must.
Yeah, but I think by the time you get to that, it's 65 books before he becomes the God Emperor on the Golden Throne.
Okay.
So, yeah.
So you may be there for some time.
I think I'm about 12 or 14 so far, so I've got a long way to go.
It's like skip to the end.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing you can do. With the Horus Heresy, you've got the first 3 or 4 books are one after the other after the other. In fact, the first 3 is essentially a trilogy, and then you've got one that follows straight on from it. But then after that, everything is set before, during, after, and everything else. That third book pretty much ends with the forward unto Terra. And then they've only just in the last couple of years started releasing the books where they go to Terra. Everything else has been set at other points of the galaxy.
Right.
So you just read those 3 or 4, and then you can do any of the others in any order, and you don't have to worry about it. But I've been doing them in release order because I'm a freak like that.
Fairy Tales is here.
Fairy Tales. He remembers Crash Magazine. It was how he found the cassette version of Faster Than Light for his ZX81.
I can happily inform you that Fairy Tales is not a he.
Oh, okay. Sorry, she. Sorry. I assumed your gender, Fairy Tales. I apologize. I've been corrected.
I just told her about my channel a couple of days ago, so she's obviously noticed that this popped up. I wondered if you would.
Excellent stuff.
ZX81.
Amy what? Oh, any version of Wonder Woman. Okay, fair enough. I would probably say. Well, someone had to say it, didn't they?
Someone had to go for it, didn't they?
I'm assuming.
Woman, just to clarify, so Wonder Woman.
I'm assuming he's saying that because he's dropped something on the floor. Maybe his wallet. He's dropped his wallet on the floor, and
he's got a bad back. He can't pick it up himself.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Good save.
Lobot likes the Horus Heresy, Cyphus Cain, and Gotrek and Felix. Cyphus Cain, is that not the character that there was a lot of talk that Henry Cavill was going to play? Or am I wrong on that?
Is he still doing that, or
is contractually bound to?
Okay.
Apparently, because of the hoo-ha regarding female Adeptus Custodes, that Amazon have insisted Games Workshop insert, and them being his favourite army and him being dead opposed to them changing that. It's all rumour and hearsay, of course. But he threatened to walk, and it was literally a case of, oh, you can't. We've got your name on this dotted line.
Right.
Yeah.
Awkward. Yeah.
It is awkward because you've got someone who's so passionate about bringing something like that to the screen that he really wants to envisage and bring it for everyone who's a fan of this to see what they expect to see on screen. And he had that passion burning in his soul. And now, even if it's to go ahead with it, I feel like that fire has been put out. I don't think the passion's there anymore, unless they let him do what he wants to do.
Yeah.
Gat. I've seen child services here, and I'm worried about reading this out. Okay, Joe. You would think that child services would question Bruce Wayne with the disappearance of all the Robins. Okay. Okay. Why? How many have disappeared? One of them, the first one grew up and left home, which is perfectly normal. One of them died and there was a body.
But then he came back to life.
And then he came back to life as a grown man. One of them grew up and left home, which is perfectly natural. The second one did. And the other one's still there.
There's the Dark Knight Returns one as well, of course.
Yeah, but that hasn't happened yet because that's in the future.
Fair.
And it's a girl, so no one cares. Unknown. Cyphers Kane is an Imperial Commissar. Gotrek. Yeah, sorry, I didn't get to the other ones, did I? What is it? Gotrek and Felix are, Age of Sigmar, I'm to say. Yeah. Thanks, guys. Oh, yeah. Cool. I'm going to get into trouble for saying that no one cares about girls. It was a joke. I've got daughters. I care very much about girls, particularly mine. So Dick, Jason, and Tim. So yeah, the two of those grew up and left. They didn't disappear at all, did they? One of them died, and there was a body and the funeral and everything like that. I mean, I would imagine there would be some questions as why he was beaten to a bloody pulp.
Yes.
That's the interesting thing. I mean, so like from a comic book, comic hero perspective, who's actually died? Has Robin died, or has Jason Todd died? And how would what would be registered as the death? Who would you have the funeral for? So if you have
Jason Todd, wasn't it?
Yeah. So if you have the funeral for Jason Todd, it's like, well, how do you explain what happened to him?
Well, I think basically they just removed all the fragments of his Robin costume, didn't they? And then presumably invented a story about a fire somewhere or whatever. Did he get blown up?
But then that ties it back to Bruce Wayne, doesn't it? And it brings a bit of sort of like maybe a bit of an investigation towards Bruce Wayne as to how one of his wards has, met a rather brutal end.
Mm-hmm. Certainly possible. I forget what the backstory was in the comic. I did have it at one point, but I'm not sure if I've still got it.
Well, he goes to see his mum, doesn't he? Because he's searching for who his mum is.
That's the quest. Yeah. And then the Joker gets involved, of course.
Yeah. But that's about as much as I can remember. It's a good chunk of years since I read it, actually, as well. I do have it. I'll have to dig it out and read it.
Victoria, your comment has literally just popped into my mind. I hadn't read it. Do I know where you can get a Wonder Woman outfit for the other half for Father's Day?
So is it for a husband to wear? Or...
Oh, Daddy.
Victoria may be revealing more than she intended to here.
I would have thought someone like Ruby's would probably do one, wouldn't they?
Yeah, but I don't think they have an outlet over here, do they? So it'd be someone who's selling their goods.
You want a sort of party store or something like that, don't you?
Yeah. I'd just have a look on Google, to be honest. Maybe even Amazon.
Yeah, Amazon will have one.
Maybe even Amazon.
Or maybe just hire one for the night.
Yeah. So it looks like your luck's in. Anyway, Ben, you've placed an order a couple of minutes ago for Rat Trap. Oh, thank you. Thanks very much. No problem. Just check.
Well played.
Is it slightly weird why he had Dick Grayson running around in tight, small pants?
It's the crime fighting costume of choice.
It's the making shoot with Robin who's brightly coloured, whilst he lurks in the shadows and clobbles them from behind as a result. That's what it is. It's distraction.
Yeah, it was the 60s.
And that.
Well, actually, it was the 40s, wasn't it? That's when
Well,
Robin was first
yes.
introduced. You know, in that costume, it was the 1940s. So
Well,
I don't know, but I would maybe logically assume that they went with those bright colours to appeal to, you know, younger kids. You know, the primary colours kind of thing. And it's like, oh, you know.
bear in mind as well, the Graysons were
Well, you know what I mean.
the Graysons were circus performers as well, of course. That's not dissimilar to the sort of acrobatic outfit he would have worn originally. So
he's not really asking about the colour, though, is he? He's asking about them being tight and small.
Well, he's a boy.
You've paid far more attention to these pants than we have, Ben. And Lobot's saying to Victoria that he hopes that he can, well, that her other half can fit into the outfit. Robin's pants shrunk in the wash. There you go. Thank you very much, Fairy Tales, for confirming that for us.
She would know as well.
Maybe
You know, going back to what Joe was asking about the explanation to child services, you've got to remember we're talking Bruce Wayne here, multi-billionaire. He's probably best friends with one of the coroners who looked after the body. And he said, yeah, it wasn't beaten to death. It just died in a fire. That's it. You know? Okay. Move on. Inspired by Batman talk, who's your favourite animal-themed hero? I'm a Spider-Man fan myself. Animal-themed hero.
Animal-themed hero.
It would be Batman for me.
Maybe you could cover all bases and just say Manimal.
Manimal. Well, there's Animal Man, isn't there?
There's Animal Man, yeah. Animal Man.
Beastmaster.
My dad liked that film.
Hero. I'm going to go back to what Ben mentioned earlier. Rat Trap is an animal-themed hero. She's looking. Oh, Animal Man, if allowed. Look at that. Mark's here. Hello.
Hello, Mark.
How are you doing, sir? Been too long.
Rocket Raccoon is not animal themed. He is an animal.
Condor Man.
Oh, goodness.
You're saying it wrong. It's Condor Man.
Spider Pig from The Simpsons. Favorite villain? Poison Ivy.
Favorite villain?
Favorite
Ming the Merciless.
So middle of the road here, I know. Joker.
Joker. I wouldn't say he's my favourite villain, but I think I like Mr. Freeze.
Mr. Freeze is, he's a lovely, tragic story. Well, not lovely, but a really tragic story.
Yeah, he's quite a complex character, isn't he, Mr. Freeze? Yeah, it's interesting.
He's not technically, I mean, and I'm talking about from the animated series.
Animated series, yeah.
You know, he's technically not a villain. You know, he's just in the strictest sense, he does things that aren't right, but
it's not for an evil, malicious reason.
Yeah.
BCC. Oh, Brooks Collectibles channel. Okay. Blue Beetle. Okay.
Yeah.
Carnage or Venom?
Spider related, I suppose, ish. Thing is, that's an interesting one. Actually. Did they choose that? Because they didn't have to be. They could look like anything they wanted to look like.
Technically.
So I mean, Venom only really inherited it because Spider-Man was his first host. So
yeah.
Just saying, you know.
Special mention for Leopard from Lime Street, an old British hero. Now, that one I'm lost on.
Oh, there's a whole era of British heroes that just sort of... I've I've got a graphic novel somewhere that uses some of them. So you sort of go kind of pre-2000 AD almost, and there's a load of sort of very early. There's is it Archie the Robot or something like that? Like really sort of old era British comic book heroes. The sort of ones that came out after the sort of World War II kind of era heroes, that sort of 60s kind of era. I couldn't name you many others, though, I must admit. Well, we could do Black Panther. I'd probably go Black Panther. If that's that, he's animal themed, isn't he?
Certainly is.
Yeah. Wakanda forever.
Harley Quinn, she lovely. So Mark's been to Darwin today to look at the Adidas special exhibit. Interesting. Did you learn anything? Or get anything? Order anything? Like all the Apocalypse bad guys and Granny Goodness.
Mm.
Hello, Mark.
Yes,
I think it was Buster Comics. Okay.
Buster Comics. Interesting.
I used to read the Buster Comics of the 80s and 90s, late 80s and all the way through to the mid-90s, I would say.
I don't know if it's here.
Yeah. Harley Quinn is Ben's favourite villain. Condor Man and Manimal, it's been... Yeah, you missed the conversation, but remember, yeah, they've been mentioned. Yeah. Cool stuff.
Strontium Dog.
Strontium Dog, yeah. Technically.
Oh, the Wildcats.
They're more of a team.
Yeah, you're literally just looking at your bookcase right
now.
now.
I am. I am actually literally looking for something, though, in my defense.
Okay. We'll let you off. You could say animal-based Transformers as well, really.
Oh, yeah, that's just Beast Wars, though, isn't it?
I'm meaning from the original series, because obviously you would have the cassettes.
Yeah.
Ravage, Lacebeak, Buzzer, Ratbat.
Yeah. And then there's the ones for Blaster as well, isn't there?
Yeah,
that lion and
yeah.
Steeljaw, that's the one. Yes,
Steeljaw, and then you have the Predacons, Razorclaw, them lot, Rampage, Tantrum. I
learned I'm a trainer nerd too. It's funny, Mark, but just a week ago, I learned that there'd been some Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I'm not even a fan of TMNT, but some Turtles Adidas trainers. And you could only get them if you have the Adidas app. And I'm like, oh, they're quite nice. So I got the app, downloaded it, went on there to find out they'd sold out back in March. So I'm like, oh, right, okay, fair enough. But I've still got the app just in case anything else interesting pops up. And I've never even wear them. Catwoman suggests Eve. And Bebop and Rocksteady, says Ben. Yeah, all of the Turtles characters really are, well, apart from Krang and Shredder, they're all animal-based, aren't they? I suppose that's the point of them.
Thundercats,
yeah. Does anyone remember Samurai Pizza Cats? It was pretty sure it was a rip-off of some other franchise, maybe Biker Mice from Mars. I've heard it mentioned an awful lot. I've never seen Samurai Pizza Cats.
Yeah,
I saw the first ever episode of Biker Mice from Mars, and I never watched any more.
I think that's after my time. Is that Biker Mice from Mars? I think pretty sure.
Well, it's about my time.
Is it? Right.
Yeah, and like I say, I saw the first episode and I never watched any more.
Right.
Eve has some Loki trainers. Okay, she's a bit of a Loki fan, particularly the Tom Hiddleston version. Penguin, another suggestion. Yeah, if you look at all the Batman villains and a lot of the Marvel villains in general, most of them are animal based. Oh, another Joe has joined us. Hello, how are you? Has he been delivering loads more parcels to you?
Just talking of trainers, I have some rather nice Onitsuka Tigers Mexico '66. Is it not Mexico '66? It's the Olympic ones, the yellow ones that
Kill Bill.
Bruce Lee wears in is it Game of Death, and also the bride in Kill Bill. She wears them as well.
Yeah.
I've still not worn them either. I've had them 10 years. I've not worn them.
They still fit.
Yeah, they still fit. Unless my feet have grown, which I doubt. They've probably shrunk, but I
Might
don't.
shrunk a little bit, yeah.
Yeah, I've still got them. Still in the box. I have no intention of ever wearing them.
Yes, the confirmed app. That's the one, Mark. If you need me to enter any trainer draws, I have a very high win rate if they reissue them. Okay, fair enough. I'll bear that in mind. Oh, when you say win, do you mean you have to enter an app? Do you have to enter a competition to be able to win an opportunity to buy them? Or do you mean actually win them? Because I know that's become a thing, hasn't it, now? You have to enter a raffle with some places now to be able to win an opportunity to buy them because they're so limited. Yeah. So tired off to bed soon, just popped my head in. Yeah, well, thank you for popping your head in. I'll try not to pop it off. Yeah, his head's got stuck inside as well. Yeah, as you know, Joe, I've got some Gundam for you. Andy, what are you doing?
He's gone down the Animal Hero rabbit hole.
No, I was just looking for that, actually. True Brit.
Oh, okay.
It's a comics reference for older British comics.
His Andy stuck. Why do superheroes have to wear tight outfits?
Aerodynamicness.
Yeah, there will be that. I think it's also down to the ease of drawing them back in the 40s.
Yeah, animation choice.
Yeah, that's purely what it is.
It's because you can draw them heroic.
Yeah, they raffle the chance to pay for them. That's mental, isn't it?
With the muscles and things.
Oh, yeah, you can have Hawkmen.
Good lad.
Mm.
Hawkmen, yes. Yeah. That book has Dave interested, Andy. Let's have a look. Let's stick you on big for him. There you go.
There we are.
That looks like Brian Bolland artwork to me.
Oh, it's got everyone's in here, more or another. Can we flip the image at all?
What do you mean? Can
Brian
we flip the
Hitch,
image?
Sid.
You'd have to go portrait.
Hang on.
Just pull the book back a bit.
Hang on. There we go.
Oh, it's interesting.
Okay. Yeah, we can't really read it.
No, well, no, I think you can when it's big. So you but it's got it's just got a sort of a sort of history of. But I think it breaks it down largely by artists. So there's a bit of Doctor Who in there. If like Frank Bellamy involved. I'm sure I just saw Doctor Who in here. There's it's got sort of Dan Dare and stuff's in here. All the really sort of obvious big names get mentioned in here. I mean, I can't remember when this came out. It's probably fairly old now, but if you wanted to go back for sort of old style British heroes and so on, then this would be a good place to be looking. Nemesis the Warlock. Anyone? Martial Law.
Someone wanted to sell me a good run of Nemesis the Warlock.
Oh yeah, cool. Oh yeah, I see. I remember stuff like this. It's got the that stuff from Looking there. You see,
Wurzel Gummidge.
Wurzel Gummidge, yeah. That's a very classic stuff that you used to see in the pages of Looking there. That was Mike Noble.
And see, you're talking about my childhood there, Richard. Danger Mouse, Super Ted, Count Duckula, DuckTales. Oh, see, it really Super Ted was a superhero.
Fireball XL5.
theme tune. Super Tiger 66s are a classic. Capes for sure, pads and armour for practicality. Looks like a good book, says Dave.
It is, yeah. It's definitely. I don't think I've ever really sat and read it, but just one of those ones that sort of popped up, and I thought it'd be an interesting reference because it had I think it was probably when I was doing my Starfleet website, I wanted to find out a bit more about Mike Noble because he did Starfleet comic strip in Looking, and that was quite well written at the time. So he also little rogue trooper there.
Dave Gibbons.
She's like a bit of Rogue Trooper. I would love to see a Hot Toys thing of Rogue Trooper. That'd be cool. You'd have Bagman, Gunnar, all his chipped counterparts who didn't make it. I'm surprised they've never done a film of that, actually. Captain Scarlet, Stingray, all sorts in there.
The Doctor.
Spot of the Doctor, yeah.
Okay.
It's by Alan Davis, that one, apparently.
Anyway, on tonight's episode of Jack and Ari.
2001 in here, isn't
You
it?
would not know, Dave, we have only seen the cover. They keep showing the odd page here and there. DuckTales is the one that wasn't a superhero, a full stop before it. Subtle. Oh, fair enough.
There was Darkwing Duck, wasn't there?
Count Duckula?
Count Duckula.
Were they superheroes?
Get me off the big screen now. Come on.
Danger Mouse, I think, was more. It was more James Bond, wasn't it? It was more of a secret agent.
Yeah.
I don't know what kind of thing I would throw Count Duckula into. Anyway, I'm not going to start arguing with anyone. Favorite cartoon as a child? DuckTales.
Cartoon as a child? Well, yeah.
DuckTales. I love DuckTales.
There's a few to choose from there. That's a slightly tricky one.
Something very familiar about these questions.
Yeah.
Someone's been watching your. I'm going to say Cosmic Council then. No, they've been watching.
You can go.
They've been watching your Collector's Archives.
Yeah, it's having a rebrand for September. It's going to be the Cosmic Council Collector's Archive.
Jason the Wheeled Warriors, Centurions.
I think it'd be a split for me. I think it'd be a split decision between
Ulysses 31,
Battle of the Planets, and maybe Jamie and the Magic Torch.
Okay,
they are very different things, aren't they?
Oh, they are, but yeah,
very different things.
You know, go really old school on those.
Enough to have me curious. Looks interesting. Crutton's cheap. Look your hair. Okay,
yeah.
Batman the Animated Series.
Yeah, got a little bit of the Batman Animated Series. That's definitely
now,
good.
She specifically said as a child.
Yeah,
I suppose it just about came out when I was a child, but I don't think any of our channels over here that I would have had access to were showing it. So I didn't really see it till I was like 15, 16. See, you're a bit younger than me. Fair enough, but I think some people count vampires as superpowered. Either way, I'm too tired, a little too drunk. Oh, bless you.
They're mystically superpowered, I suppose, if you like. Yeah, Battle of the Planets is definitely solid early.
Planets, yeah. Oh, God, Josh, you're showing us all.
Yep, that's a young'un. That's a young'un right there.
No, I'll agree. It's a fantastic cartoon. I've said it several times. It's probably the last of its kind, to be fair. Until they changed it to Omniverse, that was awful. Ben 10, Alien Force, and Ben 10 Ultimate Alien. Fantastic series. Yes. Yeah. You're showing how young you are compared to the rest of us. Your house is on fire.
That sounds vaguely familiar.
Okay. You've got the
You've got to
job.
remember as well, though, the kids, the family, the pets, everyone's safe. They're already out.
Yeah.
Of course they are.
Dave, yeah, you've got the job, Dave. You can pass the torch on to you. You go run with it. Go run and be free.
Funny.
Scooby-Doo.
Scooby-Doo.
Earthworm Jim, great game, very underrated animated series. I didn't even know it had an animated series.
Oh yeah, yeah, it definitely did. Oh, reboots. That's a good shout.
Yep. Reboots.
That's a good shout. CGI.
Battle of the Planets for me. Also liked He-Man. Okay.
Okay.
Or the 90s X-Men.
Does
Does Charlton and the Wheelies count? Mark's asking.
It's great. I mean, Charlton and the Wheelies would be there for me if we encapsulated past animation. But I suppose it's model animation, isn't it? It's not claymation.
I'd be quite happy to include it. Same as things like Starfleet and Thunderbirds and things like that. I'd be quite happy to include puppetry.
Right. Yeah. How about Muppetry? Would you include Muppetry?
Muppetry.
You see that changes the game if you're going to start including, if you're moving out of, cartoon animation. Like I think the question was your favourite cartoons.
For another day.
If you broaden it, then you'd have to include shows like Starfleet, Charlton and the Wheelies, and
I don't think it would include the Muppets though, because I think that's more of an entertainment show rather than anything. When I say entertainment show, I mean like a variety entertainment show, as opposed to.
Yes, it's not one purely aimed at kids. I would say it's not purely aimed at kids. The Muppets, because that used to come on a Saturday.
That's not even what I mean by it.
It's got too much celebrity to it to be just a kid show.
Yeah, but that's not what I mean.
Okay.
So I have no problem fitting things like Thunderbirds and Stingray, Captain Scarlet, all the Jerry Anderson stuff, and Starfleet and things like that. I have no problem putting that in with cartoons because it does the same thing as what all the cartoons do. It's just a slightly different animated format. Whereas the Muppets, it doesn't do that. It does something different. It's more of a sketch show.
Yeah, I was going to say it's more like an anthology show, isn't it? Where you've got
more of a sketch
stitched together in a theme. Yeah.
It's like a Ronnie. It's like a two Ronnies.
Yeah.
Right. Tell you what, then split the difference and say Muppet Babies.
Yeah, fair enough. That's a cartoon anyway, isn't it?
It's a cartoon.
I don't even know why I'm trying to split hairs over this because
it's what we do, Gareth. It's what we do.
Scooby-Doo. Sorry, Ed, for taking your job.
You're welcome to it, sir. You're welcome to it.
It's safe.
We'll discuss.
From the 80s was Ulysses. It was on BBC One, and Philip Schofield introduced it while he had his hand up a gopher's bum.
We'll discuss contracts and rights issues at a later date, Dave.
Jason and the Wheeled Warriors.
Yeah.
Just playing word association.
Lightning strikes.
Thundercats. I can't believe I mentioned it before now.
Yeah.
Captain Caveman.
Yeah. No, you're saying it wrong. You're saying it wrong. Captain Caveman. It's like that.
Before my time. That's Tom and Jerry. Yeah. I had a lot of time for Tom and Jerry growing up.
You could throw ones in there like Space Sentinels. You could put Space Sentinels in there.
What's that?
It's Hanna-Barbera.
Oh, right, okay.
But it'd be like based on, like Greek gods like Thor and
interesting.
Heracles and all that.
I liked a lot of the Hanna-Barbera stuff.
And you could also, the old Godzilla cartoon as well, which I enjoyed as a kid.
Up from the deep, 30 stories high.
Hong Kong Phooey, you know, could throw Hong Kong Phooey.
Huckleberry Hound,
Super
Yeah.
Cat.
Top Cat.
Love
Top
that.
Cats,
That's
Squiddly Diddly. Do you remember
That's
Squiddly
Pink,
Diddly?
His wings
Banana
are like
Man.
steel.
Yeah, Banana Man. Yeah, there were loads. Dungeons and Dragons for Lobot.
Telebug.
Brave Star.
Strength of
There
the
were
bear,
so
speed
many.
of the puma.
It's, I do think, but without a shadow of a doubt, that the 80s were the best for kids' cartoons.
Mm.
There were certainly a lot of them. I mean, there were a lot of them, and of course,
Yeah,
the
but
vast
you
majority
jump, you
of the
jump
time-
forward to the 90s, and there's an awful lot of kids' cartoons in the 90s, but they don't stand the test of time the way that the 80s ones do. So
I think what has something to do with that as well is I think because there was a change in the law, wasn't there, in America with regards to children's programming, you know, like and advertising for toys and things. So cartoons could be used as just basically commercials for the toys.
Right. Okay.
And they were frequently, of course, as we know. But yeah,
but there was a lot of there seemed to be a lot of creativity in the 80s as well with toy franchises and toy designs and things like that. So maybe that's why it's one of the many reasons why it's still so loved and thought of, as a good decade for that kind of thing.
But I mean, you look back at the last, I'm going to say 10, but you look back at the last 20 years, and the only cartoons that really do jump out are things like Avatar: The Last Airbender and Ben 10.
Right. I haven't seen any of them.
Well, that's fair enough, but any others are just going to be remakes of the 80s stuff.
Right.
Like whatever the current iteration of Transformers is.
Well, I mean, I was watching a video the other night that said, they when they relaunched Thundercats, they were trying to give it a much more sort of mature feel to it, although it was ostensibly still for toy selling, but they only managed to make 26 episodes out of a planned 52, I think, at least initially. So it didn't have that sort of longevity. I mean, the original Thundercats cartoons ran for I think it was over 100 episodes. It was massively long lived. It's incredible, really, when you look back at it and just how long that
was. Essentially 4 series, wasn't it?
It
was essentially 4 series.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah,
it's the same when you look at He-Man, the Masters of the Universe. That first season was 60 episodes. Which is like phenomenal for a cartoon. It's just like that's a lot of episodes.
But it was literally created just to sell toys.
Oh yeah.
But it made no bones about that.
It had a moral message at the end of the episode, and it.
Yes.
It did. And interestingly, JMS, who went on to do things like Babylon 5, was involved with He-Man and She-Ra. He actually left the series because they wouldn't let him carry on doing the sort of storylines that they were trying to do, which is very, very him. Whenever it wasn't going as he wanted it to go, he would just up and leave, which took some balls, but that's what he did pretty frequently. And he did Real Ghostbusters, he did Jace and the Real Warriors. So he was behind a number of things that I personally grew up with anyway. And he was quietly writing quite a few of them. I once tweeted him. I said, I wonder just how many people have actually sort of grown up with some element of your writing in their heads. And he came back to me and said, at least 3. Because he's very modest like that. That's it. He's funny.
Wile E. Coyote and Roger Rabbit. Oh yes, Batfink was amazing. Could we have a character like Carrot now?
Well,
no, we couldn't. Now.
Touche Turtle.
Touche Turtle. Oh yes. D'Artagnan and the Three Musca Hounds.
That was a French one, wasn't it? Ren and Stimpy was a delightful nightmare. See, that's as far as I'm concerned, that is when cartoons lost it.
That's when they turned.
It is. It was the entire Nickelodeon thing. It just something happened. It became all this horrible looking animation, which most of the kids my age now love. Rugrats and all that. Like,
they just went for gross out. Basically, didn't they? Yeah.
I think some of the Looney Tunes stand up today comically from the 50s. Yeah, they do.
Yeah, because it's physical comedy, and that doesn't age.
Yeah.
Slapstick is always slapstick. It works. You know?
Weekend TV series like Street Talk, The A-Team, Airwolf, Knight Rider. Yeah,
Please
that's
feel
Saturday
free to
afternoon,
visit
wasn't
my
it?
website.
Yeah, it was Saturday afternoon.
Hmm.
Enjoyed the Justice League Unlimited in the early 2000s.
Yes.
Yeah,
Justice League was a great cartoon.
that was following on from Batman the Animated Series.
Yeah.
Essentially.
Great cartoon.
Right.
Yeah. You had Batman the Animated Series, the Superman one, and then the Justice League was the next one. And definitely. But I don't know if it.
Well, it was Justice League, and then it was Justice League
And then it
Unlimited.
became Justice League Unlimited. Yeah,
They brought loads of extra characters in at that point. Yeah, so it became. That's when they got the Watchtower and stuff, I think.
that's right. Yeah,
Yeah.
it doesn't. I'm probably thinking about how we got it over here. Did they really show that with kids' cartoons? Did they even show it over here? Or did we have to?
I watched
did we
it.
have to get it naughty ways?
I don't know whether or not they put it in with one of those sort of morning shows, or if they did it separately. I'm not sure. I didn't have Sky.
I ended up
so I
having to get it on
seen
DVD off eBay. A naughty DVD seller.
Oh yes, yeah.
And that's how I've got. I've still to this day. I've got that. Same with Batman, the new adventures of Batman and Robin, which was the last series or two that followed on from Batman the Animated Series.
Yeah.
Darkwing Duck, definitely. Yes. Have we mentioned Trapdoor yet?
Just
I don't think we have. Are you just working your way through everything that Nema Studios are making figures of? 60 toyetic He-Man episodes.
If you're going to mention Trapdoor, you've got to mention Morph.
Morph, yeah.
And Chaz. And Chaz.
Yeah. Chaz.
Yeah, Chaz.
Who was Chaz?
Chaz was Morph's cousin. It was
Morph was the brown one, Chaz was the white one.
Yeah, so like an off-white, and then Morph was like an orange colour.
Yeah.
And then you had Grandpa.
Oh, I don't remember Grandpa.
Yes. I remember Grandpa, yeah.
Favourite non-fiction entertainment show from your childhood? Partial to Run the Risk.
Non-fiction entertainment.
Crime Watch.
Juliet Bravo. Bergerac.
No,
that's not.
I'm going to go for a Nema Studios one here when I say Funhouse. It's wacky, it's fun, it's crazy.
Non-fiction.
It's non-fiction, isn't it?
No, I'm just trying to think of non-fiction.
There was one that was like the Krypton Factor.
I got mine through naughty means as well. The Bill? Yeah, I used to watch that.
Mm.
That's fiction, though.
That is fiction.
Yeah,
it's a non-fictional setting, I suppose, but it is fiction.
Hi.
Hello. Nightmare.
Oh, Nightmare. I've been watching a few episodes of that on.
Isn't it The Nightmare?
Yeah. K. Yeah, there's a K there.
Yeah.
Crystal Maze, that's a good one, definitely.
Yeah, Backer
Grange
Grove.
Hill and Backer Grove. Yeah, they're
Grove.
fiction though. It did specifically say non-fiction, did Dave? There, look. I think I remember episodes of Tom and Jerry with introductions by Whoopi Goldberg, explaining how these were made in a different time, but stereotypes shouldn't distract from the overall experience. I think that's the Disney Plus version.
Right.
Probably, yeah, because of the maid, what bets? Yeah.
I think I'll go the adventure game.
I was literally just thinking the adventure game. Drogner.
For my time, I'm guessing.
That's available now on DVD. I need to buy that.
Yeah.
It is they've just redone it. They've remastered some of the episodes and that, and they've released it.
Yes.
I have to.
And they used the BBC for the game they played at one point in it. I remember.
Right.
Yeah.
Blue Peter.
Yeah, Blue Peter.
Gladiators, are you ready?
For another reboot. No, sorry.
Multicolored swap shop. Tiswas.
Someone else has said Nightmare.
Jigsaw. Do you remember Jigsaw?
Nixon.
Yeah, I remember Jigsaw. Yeah. Then there was
Game
words
Game
and
Master,
numbers.
yeah, I remember Games Master.
Yeah.
Challenge Annika.
Challenge Annika. Funny.
Okay, please.
Yeah.
Yep.
Crackerjack.
Jack.
They said Tiz was.
It's a knockout.
It was, yeah.
Robot
Yeah, there
Wars.
were a lot of good. There were a lot of nice ones. They were good
Robot
ones.
Wars was much later, actually. That was more 90s, wasn't it?
90s,
If not a
yeah.
bit later.
What's that?
Yeah. Robot
Which was
Wars.
Ben's younger than you.
I know.
Pardon?
that.
Yeah, so it's
Most
from his
people are
childhood.
these days.
Noel's House Party.
Oh, God.
I love Noel's House Party. We don't have anything remotely like it right now.
No, the
Well,
I
I
devil.
don't know.
Yeah.
Anton Decker's still trying to keep that sort of thing alive, aren't they? With the Saturday Night Takeaway, I suppose.
Yeah, that was.
Generation Game. Bullseye. Both
Yeah,
Bully
bit of
and Jim
play.
Bowen are equally as legendary. I've just
Oh.
sold a Bully figure.
Sorry, I'm just trying to read Phil's one. The name of it. It was
I
an
don't believe
abbreviation.
this was.
It was 3 letters.
GIF.
No. It'll come to me. It'll probably come to me after we've ended the stream. But it was 3 letters because I can remember seeing them sat at the desk, and it had these 3 letters
What?
stenciled on the front of the desk.
Am I thinking of, was it Blockbusters where they had to get across a grid with hexagons?
Yeah, someone's
OTT,
mentioned that
over the
earlier.
top.
That's it. Over the top. OTT.
OTT.
Yeah, OTT. Yeah, they had it on the in white lettering on the desk, called Over the Top. It didn't last very long because it was actually quite over the top, even for the time and even for them, you know.
Do you remember Beauty and the Beast?
Oh, with Ron Perlman and Linda Hamilton.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I always used to find that quite fascinating. I think it changed a bit in later seasons, apparently, but I remember being fascinated by that. Yeah.
I never watched it, but I can remember it being
Oh, that's-
advertised.
No, I've
Jim
never had
Bowen
a
action
speed
figure.
either.
Yeah, Hot Toys. We need to petition Hot Toys for a Jim Bowen Hot Toys.
You know, I can well imagine
Someone at Hot Toys has a fever dream. Then
doing a Jim Bowen action figure and a bullet. I can
Yeah.
see them doing it.
in red.
Dusty Bin,
3, 2, 1.
Quantum Leap was a brilliant series.
Yeah.
Ted Rogers. That was filmed at on Kirksall Road, the old Yorkshire Television Film Studios in Leeds.
I do remember the Great Egg Race.
I don't.
love that. That's one of my very early childhood memories. Is the Great Egg Race. I loved that as a concept.
Mark, when are you going
Yeah.
to join us again on this live stream?
Mm.
When are you going to join us again? Phil's literally just putting in his Google searches now.
No, that was on OTT. That was on OTT. Was that?
Turnabout, or was it Turnaround? I think it was Turnaround.
No, I think it may mean depending what age he is, it may mean one called Runaround.
Ah,
Yeah.
It was like a kids' game show called Runaround. It was actually quite similar to Crackerjack, if I remember rightly.
okay. Grot bags.
God, but
Yeah.
that
Yeah,
just
Rod's
popped
Pink
in my head
Windmill.
when you said that. Yeah.
Yeah,
Got
Rod's
back
Pink
when you
Windmill
knew. Yeah.
Live next door.
to YT. Yeah. We're up Kirksall Road.
Okay, cool.
Baywatch.
Baywatch.
That's fiction. Depending on what you or fantasy, depending on what you're watching it for.
$6 Million Man. Yeah.
Yeah.
See, slow motion running. You see that? I reminded myself there.
Buck Rogers were always a
We're
favourite.
going
of mine.
over stuff
Yeah.
here, aren't we?
Yeah, number
No,
73
it
with Sandy
was.
Thompson
Yeah.
See,
and
you
Neil
know,
Buchanan.
What cartoon did number 73 have in it? Did it do GoBots, or was that something else I'm thinking of?
They may have done GoBots. That seems vaguely familiar. Does that? It was an ITV, so it's possible it could have been.
Yeah. And then Wackaday did Transformers, didn't it?
good,
Yeah, but they did GoBots before Transformers.
Exactly. That's what I mean. Yeah. So I think that might have.
Mallet.
That's mad.
Mm.
Can't stop. You can't hesitate.
Just got there. Starman.
Oh man, yeah.
Movie with Jeff Bridges. Good film.
Yeah.
Really good film.
Yeah, very good film.
Quite underrated as well. John Carpenter film. It's really. I really rate that film. It's a good film.
Yeah, it's a good film. So that's for some reason that's made me think of Cocoon. Cocoon.
I've got that on Blu-ray. Fantastic film.
Mm.
Returns is still all right. It's not as good, but Around the Bend was good, hosted by an alligator.
True story.
And The Grot. Very good, Starman, some would say.
Yeah, it's a good film. Good film.
Oh, going back to the Hot Toys again. I know they did one. They did one, didn't they? But do the Tron Legacy stuff. Hot Toys.
Oh yeah, that would be cool. I've got some of the stuff. I've got the diecast stuff. In fact, I have got a slightly bigger figure, but it's not nowhere near Hot Toys quality. But somebody did some bigger figures as well.
Right.
One of the morning shows was that video game where you walk through a garden with killer plants.
Nightmare? Was that? It sounds like a bit like Nightmare.
It sounds that way, doesn't it? But
yeah,
I can't think on that one.
That Crystal was incredible, was the film.
Yeah. They've done that rebooty thing of it, haven't they? With it's a prequel on Netflix, isn't it? So I got one of those new, didn't I, Gareth, the other day?
Yeah, Age of Resistance.
And the Skeksis. Yes.
Yeah, Dark Crystal. I can remember when they were making that. I picked up this movie magazine, and it had like a behind-the-scenes kind of article in this magazine about it, and that it was showing you.
Oh, God. I remember going
really freaky with a spooky rendition of English Country Garden playing in the background.
Yeah. Brooks has got it. He knows one. Yeah, Mike Reed's run around. Not Mike Reed from Saturday Superstar. It's Mike Reed from. Yeah.
I remember going to, I think it was the Bradford Media Museum, as it was then called, or whatever it's now called.
Yeah.
And they had, it wasn't Dark Crystal, it was Labyrinth. They had Labyrinth puppets there that you could actually sort of use and sort of play with. I've got a picture of me trying to strangle somebody with one of them. I'm sure I have. It must have been a school visit, I think. Yeah, I'll have to dig that out.
Big break.
Got really big and screamed into the camera.
It's big break, Dave.
Oh yes, Jim Richardson.
Jim Davidson. Jim Davidson and John Virgo. Big break. And Chaz and Dave did the theme tune for it.
Bless them.
Because I think a few years before they did that charity record, Snooker Loopy. You know, when they got all the top snooker players of the time. You know, like Steve, really interesting Davis, and
the Whirlwind White,
Terry Griffith, and Dennis Taylor, Ray Reardon, or Dracula.
God, yeah, grew up watching them on sort of just barely colour TVs, yeah.
Yeah, well, it were, I think it was Friday nights. It was Pot Black. It used to be on Friday nights. Used to love watching that. Yeah, watching snooker. What was his name now? The commentator for it. It says, for those of you watching in black and white, the yellow is next to the pink.
Yeah, big break.
Yeah, the other Mark has now joined us. He's only 2 hours and 30 minutes late. He's been listening.
3 videos edited, but has been listening.
Always listening. I need to do some video editing as well.
Yeah, Wallop.
Snooker Loopy on vinyl. B-side was Wallop.
Yeah, I remember going to Woolworths and getting that record. That Snooker Loopy.
Okay.
Yeah. Back in the day.
I should see what records I've still got left. I've not got many, but
No, I didn't know.
My vintage Tron. I'd totally Sark to complete your vintage Tron set for the museum. Good luck. Good luck getting it. I'm sure you'll find one.
Yeah, sorry, I thought I had a bit of a autocorrect spelling thing there. I thought Tony Stark.
I usually get Tony Stark. And then it wasn't until it said
Stark.
Stark. Yeah. Not something to brag about. What's not something to brag about?
I think it means the Snooker Loopy record.
Oh, yeah, fair enough.
Listen, I don't mind a bit of Chaz and Dave. I've got their greatest hits. It's
Mark. Two Marks are bidding against each other for a Tony Stark figure.
Yeah,
oh, for a Tony Stark from Tron.
Could get messy. Could get messy.
Well, I think we need to stick on for. Oh no, we've done, haven't we? We've done 2.5 hours because we started
2.5 hours. Yeah. We ain't done bad. We ain't done bad.
What's Urcha?
Urcha.
No, it's Gertcha. Gertcha. It's a Chaz and Dave song called Gertcha.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
Right, okay. Thank you for the translation there. What?
Oh, nostalgia blast.
What's that, sorry?
I said, join us again for the next exciting episode of Nostalgia Blast.
Yeah. We'll blame Dave for introducing another streamer's content onto the.
You know what we should do? What we should do at some point is like a watch along. Because so we all try and sort of simultaneously hit play at the same time on something of nostalgic value, and then we just commentate the heck out of it, basically. But we don't put it on screen, so we don't get clobbered for copyright off the back of it. I believe that's a thing, isn't it? And others in the chat could then also simultaneously watch it if they wanted to as well.
If we're not bothered about monetizing it.
Yeah, but you might get well and truly clobbered if you really try and play something, full length. You'll just get taken down. So,
all right, okay.
But if everyone starts their engines at the same time, I think that's the idea, And then you'd. I think some people do. I don't know how much they tolerate, but I think some people do intermixing of little clips of it. It depends how you want to play it, really. I suppose.
I think it's kind of thing that maybe it'd be like a specialized episode. Like you just do it as like a one-off sort of thing. Yeah. I have seen other YouTubers that do kind of like their own commentaries, and they're watching it as they talk, but obviously you can't hear what they're watching, but they'll say, right, if you want to watch along while you listen to us, press play now, kind of thing.
Yeah, exactly. The idea. So yeah.
Problem is, we wouldn't be able to do that with Ed.
With me?
Because usually what Ed does when we're watching a film is he'll pause it just randomly and start telling you all about that certain actor or actress that's on screen at that time. And then he'll skip it back a bit to show you something else and then press play again.
He's
and he'll keep doing that all the way throughout the film. And I don't think we'd be able to do that whilst streaming because everybody at home would have to keep pausing at the same time as well.
You want to get your money's worth out of it. Knowledge is currency.
That is a slight pet peeve of mine, though. Is like, if you're going to watch something, shut up and watch it.
Want us to commentate over it.
If it's the first, yeah, but if it's the first time you're watching something new, just soak it in first.
Yeah, I mean, I have noticed over these past couple of years, I would say, regardless of where the film's made or what language it's in, I have the subtitles on all the time now. Even yeah, I just have them on, because a lot of times, in some films, some of the lines are muttered, or they're like, they don't seem to speak clearly. So at least if you've got the subtitles on, you can, you can catch what they've said, kind of thing. Maybe it's an age thing. Who knows?
Who knows? It could be. But...
Oh, it's Gap.
Oh, it's Gap.
Every
I'm gonna try
time.
and catch up on this chat anyway. We've got Richard saying Blue Harvest going to that antiques place in York from your video might skip Sore Thumbs though. Oh, don't. Sore Thumbs is cool. Sore Thumbs is cool. 2.5 hours is good. We're all too old to stay up late.
Yeah, it is.
There's a mint Tomy Sark in the Netherlands, but he won't drop below 150. Join us next time and we all try and name as many classic 80s tunes. No, Richard, go in, have a look. It's a great place. See, even he says it's great. He just likes to moan. I'll start afresh, please, Bob. If I win it, I'll sell it to you for $1 million. Okay, will do. We'll purchase depending how I'm treated. Ask them about the Buck Rogers figure. Hello, Gap. How are you, sir? Spectrum. Yeah, we've been there and done that. Hello.
Yep.
Might do. You could buy it off me if you like.
Gapinator.
Tell them you saw it on my channel. Not fair. Only joined 10 minutes ago. Sorry, Phil. You can always watch it back.
Yeah.
Always watch it back.
So what you get for missing staff meetings?
Yeah, and tune in earlier in 2 weeks' time.
Yes. There is a year's worth you can look back on if you wish.
Yes, there is, yeah. I like
the proverbial archive.
You know, when I first saw that, I thought it said moon.
And on that note,
yeah, I'm obviously feeling a little bit tired, guys. $1 million sold. I need a book to go with my Twiki too. You did not know I did YouTube? Well, I do.
No, you do.
Yes.
No, you do.
Indeed.
We've been doing the council now. This is the first one into our second year. We've done a year, haven't we?
Yeah.
Cosmic Council as of last time, so this is the first one in the next year. Here's to another year. With any luck. But then there's also the weekly episodes of stuff that I put out. There's reviews. Head over to Edge channel, Vaults of Iacon, and you'll see a load of interviews with mostly Transformers collectors, but other collectors as well. And Andy does loads of videos based on toys and collectibles from the 80s, all sorts of stuff.
And Babylon 5.
It's Babylon 5 marathon. Yeah, that is a marathon as well. Yeah, I've got to be honest, I've never watched any of those.
The sound quality was appalling when I started out because I was still learning the ropes, and I did re-record some of the very, very early ones that had really shocking sound quality on them.
Bless you.
I tried to pump it up a bit, but yeah.
Good night.
Good night.
What, are you tired? I am tired.
It is time to go.
The Doctor Who figure buyer from Saturday. Oh, okay. You're not the Phil that I was thinking of then. But hello, Phil. Fair enough. You brought me that wonderful TARDIS poster in, didn't you? Yes. Good stuff. Next one, Phil, Night Victoria. And Phil was Babylon 5. Babylon 5's just good. Right. I think we're going. No more comments, please.
Yep.
Right. Does anybody want to pitch what it is they're going to be putting out this week? What's coming up?
The only thing that I've got lined up currently is the slight add-on, bolt-on, call it what you will, to my Excelsior's Domain Goes West series, wherein I ventured forth into Wales, appropriately enough for me, and batted round Wrexham for a bit and found some bits and bats in Wrexham. So that will be my next episode in that little series, which is tomorrow night at 8 p.m. Which, if you're watching on my channel, is on this channel. If you're watching on his channel, it's on my channel.
I like that.
Good stuff.
And have you got anything due to drop, Ed? Back from your pants.
Oh, me?
You?
Oh, I always have that. Yes. That's off. I'm tired. I forgot where I was going there. I may have. I'm aiming for next week for the Collector's Archive. It's just one that was pre-recorded in November. It's the last of my batch of pre-recorded ones, so I'm aiming to have that released next week. But other than that, no, I shall be. I'll be returning to my sabbatical, and I may turn up sporadically here and there, but no, I'll get that out, return to my sabbatical, but I'll be back full time in September.
Cool.
But then again, I am the biggest hypocrite walking the face of the earth, so don't be surprised if you see me back on here in 2 weeks' time.
You know you're welcome.
But no, that's the plan. That's the plan. I am 3 episodes short, though, for the Collector's Archive. So, I mean, if, get in touch and we'll have a chat. And if anyone, if anyone tweaks my interest, maybe we can record something and I can film me 8 episodes per season quarter. It's there. I'm open to offers.
Collectible. Get in touch with Ed. Because I think that would make for a very interesting Collector's Archive.
Oh yeah, there we go. But I mean, you can. I'm posting on a daily basis on Instagram and Facebook if you wanna see, pictures.
I should just plug my auction, shouldn't I? I didn't mention earlier, but that A-Team chopper is up on my eBay account at the moment. So.
Yeah.
He sold some Zoids comics the other day for far more than I thought I was going to get for them, so that was pleasant. Mm.
Well, if you're plugging stuff you're selling, I'll just have a nice, refreshing drink from my Volkswagen.
The bloody teacher. September.
That really hits the spot, does that?
Other beverage holders are available.
Well, thanks everyone in the chat for joining in there. It's been fantastic reading out most of your comments and answering questions. You've really kept this episode going. And obviously, thanks to both Ed and Andy for joining me. You know what? I never do this, but thanks to me for being here. Without me, I wouldn't be able to do this.
No, it would be something else without you. Quieter, possibly. But...
I'd thank him, but we'd never really end of it. He'd dine out on it for the next 3-4 months.
Yeah, probably. Remember that time when you thanked me?
Yeah. If you go back to episode 121 and you might find a thank you in there somewhere. We haven't got the episodes numbered, have we?
I might go through. First 3, I think I did because I did.
I didn't realise that.
Council episode 1.
Have you sorted them out into a playlist on YouTube on your YouTube channel? They are in a playlist, are they?
They are in a playlist.
No, at least they'll be in date order.
We'll go through and number them at some point. But they should show up in order anyway. To be fair, there's loads of comments coming through.
You can order them as you wish on the playlist, actually. So
stop commenting. We want to go. We're tired. We're old. We're old.
Very
tired.
Summer for the council. Just saying, a change can become Lobot.
We nearly went the entire episode without mentioning that. Apart from the fact that I referenced it in my YouTube video.
It's about the Covenant Council.
Yeah, well, so at some point in the summer, I'm probably going to have to be stepping down because there's going to be some, skeleton in the wardrobe probably going to come out. I'm probably going to be caught in some kind of scandal, involving some kind of Z-list celebrity, and it'll be all over the front pages. So I'll have to, bow out due to health issues and, retire to some, corner of Llandudno. Or maybe Droitwich.
I'll have you know there are no skeletons whatsoever in my closet. In fact, he's still alive.
I do want a skeleton, but I don't know who makes them. I think Greybeard Plastic Works told me, I think, ages ago. The 6-inch articulated skeletons, that was from Jason and the Argonauts, I want to say.
Oh, yes. I think they were in one of Theo's videos recently.
Where he throws down the dragon's teeth.
What are you talking about? I'm as old as you are, remember?
Revoltech did a very nice one. I know that much because I had one in stock. That was really, really nice. Was that the Revoltech one? I would stand for election Lobot, but my legs ache these days, so I prefer to sit down when I can. Cosmic Toy Scandal. Moody Godzilla. Ed really likes Nintendo DS and Handy in Space Precinct.
Well, it wouldn't be much of a. Well, of course we're going to talk, Gap. It wouldn't be much of a video, would it, if we didn't talk?
Just do,
it's not going to be no good. It wouldn't be any good in Braille now, would it?
No. Doesn't translate well to screens, really, does it?
No.
I guess. Shut up, Ed. We are sleepy. Helpful. All right then. Well, we'll go then, shall we? Yeah, right. All right. Then what's
Wi-Fi times now? There's a hint there somewhere.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Fair enough. We're going. All right.
Goodbye from him. Goodbye from him.
Good night. Love you all. You're amazing. Bye.